I will tell you when we're in. It should be any time now.
That was distressing.
It should be any time now. Hey, there we go. Welcome to Bela'Dun and Beyond.
Hi,
Hello, everyone. Hello.
We have begun to stream right in the midst of tech issues, so you get to see some of the behind the scenes, which is everyone faffing about as shit breaks.
How did you not see me on cam, like, stressing out for the past 10 minutes?
Honestly, you were a little bit too close, and like from what I could see of your head, I was like, he looks a little bit annoyed, but I was letting it go.
That wrinkle is much more bent than usual. It's very defined.
Pre-stash is always good, man.
I want to see this 2020 thing, Mac.
Oh, you want to see it?
Right, let's see what an MD 2020 is. Tell us if you know what the fuck one is.
Let's see if people know on the stream what an MD 2020 is.
Oh my god, I do recognise that.
No, I don't. What is it like? Oh, it's strawberry. I thought it might be chili or something.
No, it's chili. It's a strawberry. I mean, I had a
proper orange.
Huh?
It's proper old.
This is old.
Was it like Alco Pop juice?
My mum having
it's so
that.
old. It's so old. There's not even anything on the back.
They already listed the ingredients on the front when they said strawberry.
You know, nowadays they put on the bottles or cans and say, not suitable, drink responsibly. Puts this type of crap on it.
Yeah.
Not whilst pregnant, do a backflip, all of those symbols.
Not a classic MD 2020. Nothing.
Wow.
Oh my gosh! See this? No, this is a proper throwback. This and Alizé was incredibly popular during my high school period. Yeah, because it was cheap and it will get you.
Yeah.
It's
like
cheap.
the adult version of Alco Pops.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like it's still just Alco Pops.
That is absolutely it.
Yeah, but like you can't get wasted off like a WKD, like that stuff you can.
Oh no, this you can. I mean, it's basically the volume of wine. It's 13%.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So who is it? Is it right that Vice is the recap? Who did the recap?
I don't know.
I did the recap, and so everyone be prepared. Because
big section didn't listen here.
I was drinking last week. So
as it deteriorates through the description, we know
it does. It does. You'll see where it starts to break apart.
Something about cauldron, maybe.
It could well possibly be the beginning.
Oh my god! I rolled a 100 out of a D200.
Perfect middle. Beautiful.
It's not bad. Right. So recap. Session 48 recap, everyone. We began the battle with the old hags.
Oh, God. Are you going to read it like a medieval style?
Yes, please.
Fourscore.
Stop medieval.
I know, but it's still the voice that I had in my head.
Yeah. So, Vice and Taryn go down at some point. Nemea. What did I put here? Oh my god, I can't even read my own.
Did we open into battle? Didn't we open at the start of the fight?
Into the battle. So during the battle, I'd gone down. I'm not going to go through everyone's.
Yeah, no, that's good. We'll be here till midnight.
Yeah, so myself and Taryn go down. Nemea delivers the final blow to the hag. The other hag just decides to just fuck off. Two objects were visible within the space that we were in. We had a cauldron and we had a bag of rotten fish. Nemea finds a bag he found a magical bag and paper glowing with magical properties that was on the hag that she had killed or slain. Nemea discovers a spell. Taryn and Livia take vial of hag soup and bones for Livia. I remember that.
Yes.
Taryn takes magic pouch. We were stuck in the room, not knowing what to do. Taryn then reads the ruined language and something to do with the sickness. It was connected to the actual sickness that was happening in the camp. And he decided that we must break the seal. So Taryn then throws his minute meteors or meteors. Minute meteors, yeah, and succeeds in breaking the seal. The cave starts to collapse. And we swim for the surface. As we reach the surface, a tree falls and takes, I think a couple of us took damage, I think. And something about, I don't know why I wrote Taran mutates into a fish man.
He has a thing.
Did that happen? Did that
Yeah, that
happen?
kind of happened.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, that happened then. I
It's not
wasn't
as
just drunk.
grotesque, but like,
Or extreme.
Okay, cool. So I think during the period of when we were swimming to the surface, I think you used your ability to put gills on
Yeah, give
yourself.
himself gills.
Yeah.
I get the face of a catfish.
Yeah. So as we reach the surface, Durjek and I actually wrote the word someone because I couldn't remember who you said. But Durjek and someone is at the lake to meet us. Hiskas, quite possibly. I'll put that there, Hiskas. And tells us that Ferdy is on our way to meet us to get a briefing on the outcome of the mission. We head back to the camp in that period, and we end up meeting her. And as far as I wrote, she congratulated us on the mission, well done, and we got the additional coin. And that is all I wrote, because I might have started to black out at that point. If anything happened after that point, then please, if anyone would like to add.
I think we just ended it there.
We just
Yeah,
ended there
I
when we
think
head
that
back
was
to the camp?
basically the wrap up.
Thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so then I caught everything then. There we
Because
are.
I've still got like crap health listed, so we definitely didn't rest.
Nobody's rested, yeah, to the best of my knowledge. Let me
Wonderful.
just stick this in bot requests and then turn it down. 'Cause I think
And
it's gonna
that,
be
everyone,
loud.
is my recap for the next 5 weeks.
Hooray!
You're welcome.
Speaking of,
Yay!
who's doing the recap next week?
Whose turn is it?
Oh,
Mine? Nemaya's? Mine?
I've lost track at this
I
point.
don't think it's Livia. It's definitely not Livia's. It's
I
definitely
was before
Same
you,
here.
and I think
It's-
before
it's
you
not
it was
Aresia.
Lucy, and before that, before Lucy, no, before that it was Ulrich,
Yeah.
because I remember Lucy did it, and then we said it was Ulrich's turn, and we were like, you egged her on to do it last week. It's your turn now.
Me now?
It's you, Amy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went
Is it?
backwards, as you can
Oh.
tell.
Which means
5 weeks,
after that,
Which means
it's
after that
Lucy,
it's Lucy, and then it's
and
you.
then me, and then
then Ulrich, and then Livia, and then me.
Yeah.
Oh, the quick
We have an
one.
actual order, guys, that we're
We have
sticking
an
to.
order. We have some.
It's like we've grown up and stuff.
organisation.
we're gonna lose that order so quickly.
No, we won't.
Well, we've done well up until this point. It's
I'm using
Pat
reverse
ourselves on the
psychology
back
on
for
the
that.
universe. Gotta think we're gonna fail, and then we won't.
then we won't. I see.
In our hubris. we
Music
will
will
fail.
not play for some reason. I don't know why.
How
Oh,
dare you
there we
ring-
go. It is playing. It has changed its mind.
Psych!
Kicking and then re-adding the bot several times over is exactly what we needed to do. Okay, cool. So, as
Agatha!
all right,
Agatha.
Karen was
I want to check on her.
Leave
I
her,
think you
man,
already
she's
did
fine.
last session. I'm sure we
Oh,
covered
thank
that.
God. I thought I did.
Yeah,
thought
I
did.
believe Agatha has been checked up upon.
Okay, cool.
So as Taran was saying, you guys haven't rested yet. I think, did Aresia step away to debrief Ferdy, or did Ferdy just say she'd come back?
No, Ferdy
write a
asked
report, won't you?
Aresia to go and turn in her report to her, and when we ended the session, Aresia said she wanted to change out of her wet clothes and went to the group tent.
Okay, cool. That's all fine. So, in the time that you guys have returned, you've had a little bit of downtime. So, a couple things have happened. Firstly, Taran, you now know what the bag you came across does. I'll
Aha.
put this down here. And I will put it in everyone's, because although you have it, it's not necessarily you that's keeping it. That's kind of up to you guys. So that should be on your screens now. Everyone should be seeing that in Roll20?
Yep.
The
Conjurer's
stream can see
Armory.
it at the very least.
It's got 2 swords on it!
Just like described.
I haven't read it. All I can see is there are 2 swords.
Does that mean that it's for Aresia then?
I mean, it sounds very arresory. I don't know if the 2 swords were for arresory. It's just
Aresory. It's very Aresory.
You turn it around, there's a third sword on the back, like hiding in the corner.
I mean, it's so like the sole purpose is to pull out melee weapons. So I
don't
would
think-
say it goes to someone.
Does it specify melee?
Simple or martial melee.
Simple or martial? Does it say melee?
Yeah, simple or martial melee weapon.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. Simple weapons are one thing though, right?
Melee
martial
weapon. No,
melee
that's
is
right.
in that-
That's right. It's not ranged weapons.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it would
would
only make
definitely.
sense to be Aresia or Vice.
I was thinking
would
about
assume.
it before the session, and I couldn't remember whether I'd put melee on there. And I was like, how would it work if you pulled a martial weapon from this? It wouldn't have arrows. I basically decided on like you could pull a bow, but you'd need your own arrows because otherwise, as soon as you fired them, they'd dissipate.
So is it like Mary Poppins' bag? You can actually pull anything out of it.
It essentially it works how it's described. You can pull martial or simple melee weapons out of it, and as long as you then hold on to the thing that you pulled out of the bag, it stays in your hand and it has all the stats of a base weapon of the kind that you have, I believe, thought about before pulling it out of the bag. If you let go of it at any point, it dissipates into nothingness.
But then you could theoretically put your hand into the bag and pull out another one.
Exactly.
Basically,
What you
Amy,
can't
if you
do
want to be
is
Killer
put
Bee from
more
Naruto,
shit
you
in
can.
there.
I was literally thinking that. I was like, how can I hold that?
Like on the knees, a bit on the foot.
Well,
when
if
you're
you
lifting
have
your leg up.
if you have
I mean,
the
it'd be useful
pouch
to
on your
anyone,
hip,
but anyone that's ranged or a caster, it just, I mean, yeah, it sings Amy to me. But, Aresia, I mean.
Yeah, it definitely. I think it definitely sings Aresia for me.
I imagine after having looked at it, I would sort of gather like, yeah, melee weapons and things. You don't use much magic, and then I'd sort of toss it over to our lieutenant.
Okay.
And then, because I would have taken it off Nemea anyway, I'd look at her and I'd be like, I feel like I owe you something, and I want to grab that experimental staff.
Yeah.
that I
You're gonna
found.
grab her and kiss her, mate.
Oh,
That is pressuring. I would do not. And I'll chuck her over the staff.
I will
what's
change
this?
the ownership of the staff, so that's in your
What's
journal, the mayor.
Yeah, in your general roll 20. Should.
For the sake of everyone else, I'll just quickly show you all as well. For the stream, you can't actually click show to players until it's in all players' journals, so that's why I have to put it in all players' journal first. So that's the staff.
It's the one that I found at the bottom of the tower, but then looked at it and I was like, well, I can't fucking use this.
Well, that's definitely not me. So I'll link this. I mean, that's.
Oh my god, that's
Mayor,
so fucking gross.
Like, one character ago, I could have used it.
You're like Quantum
What do you
Leap.
mean it's gross?
Always waiting
To
for
the
your
way-
next jump.
This is so
The,
cool.
the way that the staff looks is gross. Is that what you're saying?
No, it turns into a snake. It's like a little gross.
Oh,
How cool.
I
Did
mean,
your
it's
staff get
good, but
broken?
but if that snake, if that snake is killed, it's useless, isn't it?
I think it
I
breaks
imagine it will
entirely
come
if
back.
it's killed. Yeah,
Yeah.
it shatters.
Yeah.
It does
Well,
say
the
it
whole-
shatters and is rendered inert, so I feel like the head probably shatters, but the staff might remain, depending on what you're doing with it. Yes, I would say that's fair. It is a bit specific. The bot has just stopped playing and left. Like, not only has it stopped playing the music, it has kicked itself out of the Discord.
He
Yeah,
said
so,
no, thank you.
so that is what that staff does. Nemea, you are now in possession of
Oh,
that.
if the
It
snake
is
is killed, it reverts back into a staff, which then shatters and is rendered inert.
Yes, but you
Yeah,
can
so
turn
it
it back in. You can turn it back and forth as many times as you'd like. I think it possibly takes an action. Yeah, speak an action. So you could turn it into a snake, turn it back, all the rest of it. As long as it never takes more than 5 damage, it will be fine.
It looks so cool.
Aresia,
cool.
I will give you the Conjurer's Armory. I'll take it out of everyone's
Thank
journal, and I'll put it in just your journal.
Thank you.
Oh god, here we go. That is top of your list now. I'm trying to keep it semi-alphabetical, but I'm probably doing a terrible job of that as I click through everyone's stuff. So, Aresia and Nemea, you both would have then had the time to attune yourselves to these things. Because a billion items like haven't come up recently, there's been a lot of things that have either been held onto or like you've had them for a while. The way attunement works is that you have 3 attunement slots. If you attune to a 4th thing, it knocks out the most recent thing that you were attuned to. There are a number of ways that you can lose attunement to an item, such as leaving it behind and moving more than 1,000 feet away from it. But generally, you just want to be attuned to 3 things. The item needs to state that it requires attunement. If it doesn't, then it doesn't need attunement. And that's pretty much it. I'm not sure what you're putting 25th of June. Oh, is that in response to the mayor's thing?
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I thought you were like trying to confirm the date for the session notes, and I was like, but you're not doing the notes.
Come
and it's
on.
the wrong date. I am so.
Wrong
come on,
month.
this is going to be a good day for rolls for me. Look at that. It's going to be a good day today.
I rolled a 100 out of a D200. What are the odds? Perfectly in the middle.
50-50,
Fine.
yeah.
50-50.
About half.
No, I said 50%.
I mean, but that's wrong. You guys can't do math.
I mean, it's pretty close to 50-50.
What, 50% chance of getting one number out of 200 numbers?
No. That's not
Don't
what
feel like you know what math
That
is.
is-
So dumb.
Same chance of you did or you didn't.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. That's close.
Yeah, it was an estimate.
Yeah.
Anyhow, as I put you guys back to the thing, I just roll them. I don't make them. So it's relatively early in the day. Yeah, we were talking about attunement. You guys have a number of attunement items. I think Livia's the only one that's currently on one. Nemea, that might have been your third. I'm not sure. Either way, the time has passed enough that you are able to be attuned to all the things that you're attuned to. It is exactly midday. You've been given the time to chill and rest, essentially, in your tent. Agatha is at the back. Yeah, it's 50-50 through the day. And you guys are free to do whatever you want.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Dear.
Okay. Have we dried off and done?
Yeah, so it's been about 2-ish hours.
Okay,
So
all
short
right.
rest and everything, not enough time for a full rest. It's now midday. You are attuned to the items that you have recently received. Feel free to look at the shit that you're attuned to. It's all in your journal, and if it's not in your journal, it's on your character sheet, and if it's not there, it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Just for the sake of it, if we've done a short rest,
I think Nemea's got 3 now.
I've done that.
Yeah, I think Nemea's the only one at 3, actually.
I have 2 attunements.
Yeah, Vice has 2. I think Livia still only has 1.
Yeah, it's just my...
So, Lieutenant,
Yes.
are you are you pleased with the outcome of our mission?
I mean, you've all done very well. You defeated the enemy. I mean, you've done well to survive that stab wound, Vice. I mean, it seems like it hasn't bothered you since it happened.
I mean,
Yeah, he did well to survive it. All on his own.
I am right now. I'm showing face right now, and not showing weakness. But I do feel that I may need the medical tent.
I would advise go there sooner rather than later. We don't want to get that infected. Yes, all of you did tremendously well. Taryn, you in particular. Very brazen move, a very bold move, but it was a good move nonetheless. So, well done.
It's not a lot
For all of you, I wouldn't have
so
survived that. Sorry, what'd you say, Taryn?
there's not a lot of good ways of getting rid of weird magic sometimes, so I like to just go far.
I mean, Taryn, like you honestly blew me away.
You
It
bossed it, man.
You seriously just pulled something out that I never thought I would see. So
I mean, I knew you liked reading books, but I didn't realize reading books like got you giant meteors that crashed underground caverns and brought down the earth.
Oh, they can get you much better.
And at least we know they're dead.
I feel like we need to read more, Vice.
I feel that too. I mean,
probably
I
not
should
you.
stop reading cooking books and start reading everything. You know,
Maybe you could make giant leaks crash down on people.
try and leave.
Potatoes.
Just huge potatoes. Like, well, you know, who
9th
knows?
level spell potato
That's
storm.
right.
Who knows? Who knows? Well, I am going to retire to the medical tent, please, and get these wounds looked at.
Guys, all of you, while you've done a tremendous job, do stay vigilant and keep your ears to the ground in regards to this mysterious illness. I'd like to think it's gone, but it's worth just keeping an ear out and not assuming. So please report to me if you do hear anything untoward, okay?
Should we not report that we've completed the mission to anyone?
We
I
spoke
don't want
to
anyone
Ferdy
else
when
to-
we got back.
Oh, we already.
Yes. I'm about to go and report into Ferdy. All of you can just go about your day. I'll deliver the report myself. Seems most appropriate. But I will ensure that all of you are given the credit and the recognition.
We trust you. Don't worry.
In
Mayor.
terms of-
Karen.
Didn't what's his face? You know, the guy. Tell us that there was like an enchanter.
There's definitely a couple here, for
I
sure.
swear, what's his face? Salesy man, who I can't say his name because I always get it wrong. Kristen, him.
Kristen.
Told us that there was an enchanter. We should go find him. Maybe he knows something about this, and I'm gonna wave the vial of bones.
Okay.
Baby
we should
bones!
probably keep that under
Baby
in your
bones.
Ugh.
Baby bones.
Well,
Um.
all of you look after yourselves for the next hour or so. I will reconvene with you later. I'm off to see Ferdy.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm leaving.
Do you want to come, Taryn? Or do you want to do your own thing?
I haven't got much to do. Why not?
Cool.
I have soup as well, so we can ask about the soup.
Is your con 0, Taryn?
My con?
Yeah.
No, it's +3, 16.
You should be adding con to hit die when you
Oh yeah.
hit die on Chorus.
Nemea, do you know the name of this enchanter?
Maybe.
I feel like he told you a name.
You can roll history. I don't remember if they told you a name, so we'll let the history decide.
Oh, well, I remember her getting told a name.
Oh, okay. If only you remembered the name.
I'm not the enchanter.
I don't know. Oh, there we go.
Get our money back for the potions!
You don't remember the name. You think it was a dwarf. And other than that, you remember that Kristen supposedly knows him.
Should we go find Kristen and ask him?
Sure.
Because I can't remember the name for the life of me.
So there's probably too much water in my ears. It's swelling up the brain.
Oh, that sounds
Sam.
dangerous. Do you want me to look at
Yeah.
you?
No,
I'm
no,
gonna like
it'll be
pull
fine.
out horns like closer so I can be like.
Ooh.
They're attached
My,
to her skull.
they look fine. There is.
Careful of the crack.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I could try and heal that if you want.
You could try.
I thought it was already pretty much like held together with gold.
Was it?
Oh, I swear I remember you saying that you used gold. I swear you used like gold dust or something. You definitely
Really?
mentioned.
I feel like she said it glowed.
No, I definitely remember you saying that you were like filling the gaps out with gold, and we talked about that. I think it's Chinese. That Chinese method to repair pottery with gold, and it has a word to basically
Oh
mean
my
like
god, you're
better.
right. You're right. I don't have a blue crack anymore, or I might kind of have a blue crack.
You have a your staff is sort of cracked and blue, but your horn, I'm almost certain you filled it in with gold.
Oh, looks
I
like you
didn't.
filled it with some stuff. I don't think I can fix that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kintsugi.
This is my make.
It looks cool anyway.
I mean,
Don't
I
worry
could
about
melt
it.
the gold out and then you could try and heal it.
No, it took me a while.
Yeah, you hold it down. For the interest of time, can we just ask around and look out for Tristan?
Yeah.
And
So
find out who the enchanter is.
in terms of
Christian.
nobody wants to buy anything from Kristen, I assume you kind of had that conversation beforehand. You
No,
said you
I'm
wanted
just
to find
hoping
out
Aresia
about
gets a refund.
refunds for potion bottles. Aresia's going to Ferdy, you know that.
I know. I don't know if she remembered what I told her. I ranted at her last
Okay.
session before we went in.
Well, yeah, in the interest of time, Aresia, unless you want to do anything else, you hand in your report. Ferdy accepts it. I don't know what those motions mean, but I don't think they're for us.
to us.
And if there is any sort of inquiry as to money back for potions bought, it would just be met with, I paid you 20 plat, so jog on type responses.
Spent all the plat on potions.
You spent all your money on potions?
Pretty much.
Cost us like 500 gold to
Pretty
buy
much.
the extra 5 potions, which we had to use to get out.
Okay.
I've got less money than what I went in with, and I only bought water breathing potions from him.
So I feel like I can't trust whatever Max is doing now as well.
Oh shit!
Oh, I don't know what he's on about.
I don't remember the calculations on money spent. How much has
That's why I
been
was
spent?
raging about it.
Uh,
Didn't you say that the potions would normally be 400 apiece?
Yeah, but he
And
was
that,
doing
but
them
you were going to
crazy
do them
cheap.
for like 100 apiece because I
Yeah.
remember it being like a quarter of the price. But I
Mhm.
bought like 6 potions, so it cost like 600 gold, which
Right.
is way more than 20 plat.
Has nobody else put in for these then?
I essentially got one
I
free
did.
potion and didn't.
Yeah,
buy
we
them
did.
just
Me,
because I
Vice, and the
mentioned
mayor.
Yeah.
And I think, did you give us some? No, you didn't give us some. But I gave you a potion anyway, and then you gave it back to Vice. So I think we spent about 200 gold each on buying extra water breathing potions with the intent of using them at a later date.
So you two spent 400 between you.
uh,
And we spent 200 each roughly.
yeah, it was 600. Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a spare potion. I have spare 2 potions because I bought extra for Asteros in case he needed them. So I do have 2 left over. So
Okay.
obviously those I'd be happy to have paid for.
Well, I mean, he did give it to us for a discount. So would you
What
think?
Kristen will do is he'll take those 2 back and he'll give you the 100 gold apiece back.
Okay, so just 2. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
He
Thanks.
then directs you to Buxom, and he tells you roughly where he generally hangs around. Buxom is the dwarf who is considered a mid-tier enchanting trainer. Aresia, your conversation with Ferdy, unless you want to say anything, goes over pretty standard. She accepts your report, thanks you for the job well done. She's already paid you the rest of the money. She mentions that Asteros is going to be shortly after the exit from this location, as the march moves into the forest. Asteros is going to be tasked with carrying on his previous mission, where he found out information about an elven city being somewhere roughly in the center of the wood. He's going to be tasked with finding a specific location, and as a result of that, Ferdy wants you to maintain control of this squad for the foreseeable future. Until Asteros returns, essentially.
Okay.
Cool. So the rest of you, after a short amount of time, you're able to find Buxom. He seems to be sitting on some benches with a few other soldiers that seem to be having some downtime near a larger tent that looks to house it's similar size to yours. It looks to house at least kind of 6 beds. What do you want to do?
I'm not with them, right?
You are with
Oh,
them.
you're at the med-
As
oh.
I was going to say, sorry, as you went out to the med tent, Vice, everyone else would have come out going to find Kristen. Did you want to go with them, or did you want to go to the med tent?
I went to go to the med tent, see if they
Okay.
can
No
heal
worries.
me, hook me up.
So then, no, you
As
are not with
we
them.
approach, I'm gonna say to Nemea, like, is there anything you want to ask this guy? Like, maybe he's got some books or something, or is there something he can teach you or sell you? I don't know if you stopped talking or if you cut out. All I heard was
I can confirm it was very much.
Oh, okay, good.
So is
I
there
got
anything specific
nervous.
you want to do? Nemea?
Well, it's fine. Hi there, men. Sorry, I want to speak to, was it Buxom? I think it was. Presumably that's you.
This guy overhears you kind of asking around and eventually say his name, and he just looks over to you and is like, hello, is there anything I can help you with?
Hi there. Basically, we've heard that you're into enchanting, some cool things about magic. I like magic myself, but the enchanter is more that horned one over there. Basically, we have some soup and some weird bones and things that we found in the lake. They're kind of creepy.
Okay.
Wanted to know if you know about them. That's
Well,
about the long and short.
I can take a
if
look.
you took a look at them, yeah.
Right back.
Cool.
I'm gonna show him my vial of bones.
I will pull out the vial of soup.
Taking it.
Sorry, guys.
Shake them Balabone.
Let you know, Discord does keep dropping out my audio for some reason.
It happens with me as well.
Okay.
Does it?
It's just
Okay.
having a day.
Just tell us if you need us to repeat anything.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
I'm all right.
I'm going to show him that and explain how we, for the interest of time, how we found the cauldron, how we found the setup of everything, and explain that we found these tiny little bones in a cauldron and we don't know what they are.
Yeah.
And we don't know what any of it is. We were trying to find someone that might have a better expertise in this
Okay.
area, like Taran has said.
So he kind of waits for you to show him these things. And he's like, okay, lay them all out. We'll take a look. And as you put them all down, he didn't mean for you to tip them out of the vial, but you do. And he's like, oh, okay. And it's like in front of him, like on the bench, I guess, that he's sitting on. And he's like, well, that's disgusting. And he like reaches about and finds a dagger, pulls the dagger out, and is kind of like knocking them about a little bit with the dagger to turn them over and like look at them. And he's like, well, there seem to be bones, but from some sort of oddly tiny being. It's difficult to tell exactly what they are without seeing a reconstructed skeleton, I suppose. And he puts the dagger away. He looks at
Look at it
you.
intriguingly, like, could I do a skeleton?
He looks at you, Taran, and just goes, "Do you mind?" And reaches out to take one of the potion vials.
I'll happily hand it over.
Cool. So he uncorks it, like away from himself a little bit, and then sniffs it a little bit. He's like, "Okay," and like pours some out on the bench, and it just seems to like soak in a little bit. And he's like, "Okay," and he puts the cork back on, passes it back to you, and then he spends some time. He goes to do something. You can see he starts to make the initial semantic components of a spell, and he looks back at you and he's like, "How much time do you have exactly? Because I could find out exactly what this is, but it's gonna take about 10 minutes."
Yeah,
We've
of
got
course.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not in a rush. We were just trying to find someone who actually might be able to figure out what all of this was.
He kind of catches the mayor at the same time and just goes, "Sorry, wait. Do you need something as well, girl? Can I help you?"
Cut out, so I'm gonna have to sort of speak for her for a sec.
I mean, she's muted if she's not cutting out.
Yes, I'm looking to learn more about enchanting, and she shows the staff. And
Okay, cool. I was like, "Oh, that's chaotic. How adept at enchanting are you exactly?"
She's a novice, very much introductory level.
Is she student level? Just to confirm for me.
No, I feel like she's before that. Yeah, I feel like she's the first level of whatever that is.
Pretty
Student
sure
or
that's
apprentice. Yeah.
she nods and goes, "Yes, student."
Okay, cool. One sec. Okay, so he says, well, to be honest, a lot of my time is spent doing minor enchantments and the like for the military, as you'd expect. So, I mean, if you've got the time, I could take you under my wing for about a week or so. I think we're heading out shortly after that.
Yes, 100% yes.
Okay, so he goes, "It's not free."
She wants
and
to show a bunch of gems and gem dust and stuff.
okay, so he looks at the gems. He's going, "Oh, okay," and looks at the dust, and he's like, "Oh, you've got that done quite well, actually." And he's like pushing the dust about in her hand a little bit. He's like, "Okay, well, I charge the standard fee for teaching because I'm still gonna have to get my work done. So it would be 50 gold for a week's study. I don't know if you've got a full week because I think they're pulling in every man to sort of deconstruct the camp. So if you're willing to pay a premium, I can work some nights and finish off my workload for the week and then put some days into just helping you."
How much would this premium be?
Well, we'd be doing it in less than half the time. So I'd be looking to charge about twice the price. I'm going to lose quite a lot of my own time whilst I have to knock out as many enchantments as I can. You'd be looking at 100 gold. Obviously, I can't guarantee the results. The procedure here is certainly what you need, but you'll need to be studious yourself and make sure that you're paying attention.
Oh, of course. I will. Don't worry.
Very
I'm
well.
here for it. I'm excited.
Okay, well, you stay with me, lass. We'll start shortly, and sorry, you said you had the time, and then he starts looking at the gloop again and begins to certainly cast something for the next, like, 10 minutes. And you guys have 10
I'm
minutes.
looking at him, and I'm looking at the goo, and I'm like looking at him.
Let me see if you know or would know what
Ooh,
he's doing.
goo.
So as he casts this spell, Vice, can you roll Arcana for me, please?
I'm not with them, right?
Oh shit, sorry, yeah, you're not with them, my bad. Do
Okay.
nothing, Vice. None of you recognize it. None of you know these movements or what they're supposed to signify. And after about 10 minutes, he looks back at you, Tara, and he just goes, well, lad, took a little bit of time, but I can tell you, without a doubt, that is goo.
Well,
Nothing special
love it.
about it. Don't know what it's for. Not magical in any means. Goo.
well, whatever the hags wanted with it, I'm sure its purpose is probably already done.
So did you say hags?
Yeah.
Yeah, we found 2 underwater sea hags who had the ability to shapeshift, brewing this concoction in a underwater cave under the lake.
They were brewing it in like a
Oh,
pot.
there was a cauldron. That's where we
Oh.
found the tiny bones.
Yeah,
The
there
tiny
were little,
bones were
like,
in the
drawings
cauldron.
on it.
In the cauldron, yep.
Yes.
Pass me the vial again.
Happily.
He takes
oh.
the cork out again.
Cooking
sniffs-
goo. Now that is
sniffs
different.
it a little bit, puts the cork back on, and passes it back to you. He goes, "Hey, they were eating that.
They were eating that.
Yeah, I reckon they were eating that. They're fucking disgusting hags. They were
I
eating that.
just-
What, like a stew? We
I had a
stole
small
this
Some
stew.
sort of
but,
gross
like,
bone
ugh.
stew. Maybe it had meat once upon a time. I don't know. I don't want to think about it too much.
Oh,
It's
Do you
been
think it
cooked
tastes
down
good?
that
that's
much.
disgusting.
It's just bizarre.
We should give this to Vice.
I want to pull the cork off, and I actually just want to sniff it to see what I can
What you
garner.
smell.
Sure. Roll a cooking check. You are not proficient in cooking, so it's a D20.
Just a D20.
Oh
10.
yes, this
Right
is
in the middle.
moist goo.
Moist.
Moist.
So from what you can tell, it just smells like it's been like. It has a slightly meaty hint to it.
I thought
which
you were going to say minty.
Yeah, I did say minty for a moment, but I meant meaty. It has a slightly meaty hint to it that you think is maybe what he was picking up on in terms of it potentially being food. He's probably put 2 and 2 together in terms of bones and this odd, like, off meaty smell.
Oh, foul. That is
Well,
thank you
pop
for
the cork
confirming that. At least we now know we can throw these things happily away. These poor little creatures. Oh, God.
What do I do with this? And I just hold up both of the vials like, what?
Why were you collecting so much of it?
I could have been a useful I didn't know.
Hey, that's
Oh,
fair.
can I pull out the broken gold hilt of a sword that I found?
Sure, you're going to have to remind me where you got that from.
When I was swimming on our way to the underwater cavern, I caught something at the corner of my eye and I swam off and they all stopped and waited for me and I went and found a broken sword. It had the pointy end broken off. It was
Right.
just the back end.
So it's like the hilt with a snapped off sword. Okay, he looks
Yeah,
at
because
it.
I only carry hilts, apparently. That's all I'm about.
He looks at it and for a moment he goes, well, it looks like this bit's gold. And he's kind of pointing at the hand guard. He's like, probably this bit's a little bit unfinished. It'll take another 10 minutes if you want me to actually spend some time. I think what you have here is the base of a weapon.
I feel like it's... Is that real? Is that like proper gold? Like, can I sell that for something?
It looks like real gold. If you know someone that wants to just buy your gold, cash for gold, I don't know.
Oh, maybe
Gold for
I'll
gold.
ask Kristen.
Yeah, Kristen
Okay.
will probably have an interest. He buys knickknacks and the like.
Yeah. Thank you. You've been absolutely superb.
No problem.
Thank you for identifying our goo.
I guess we'll leave you here, chick, and I'll sort of nod at Nemea in a like you okay way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'll
she
see you
looked
next
very
week.
happy. Next week, I assume you'll come home to sleep.
Maybe.
Agatha will
It depends how
miss you.
busy I'll be.
Well, if she forgets you, then that's your problem.
I'll be honest, I don't think you're going to have a full week. I think we're heading out in a week, so
Yeah, you've paid double for half the time, remember?
I reckon we'll get through your study in about 2 days, but if you're then helping dismantle the camp and move everything so that we can leave, I think you're going to be busy for the next few days anyway. I mean, I don't know who all of you are, but I'd expect it's going to be the same for the lot of you.
We just got back off a
Well-
mission, and we just got back a previous mission off that. So I'm hoping that we can hopefully guarantee at least 2-3 days before we head out again. We're working with Lieutenant Ressia.
I don't know. I know Aresia. I've heard of her.
Huh. I never remember the rank.
Well, best of luck to you. Vice,
Thank you very much.
as you head into the medical tent, the woman there...
Will kill you.
Yeah, there's a human woman, and you come in looking a bit battered and bruised. She just sort of leads you over to a bed and lets you kind of rest up, sleep. That's pretty much all the healing they're going to give you, really, is outside of...
Does that do anything to me? Stat-wise?
You can roll hit dice, but don't take them off your current hit dice.
Okay, sure.
As an effect of being in the tent, but it'll take an hour or two. It depends on how many hit dice you roll on how many hours you're there. It'll be a hit dice, 2 hit dice per hour.
Okay.
And if you're there for like 8 hours, then you just long rest.
Remind me with hit dice again. It's 2d8. Sorry, it's a d8, isn't it? Sorry.
Your hit dice are depending on what
That's
your
cool.
class is. I think everyone's a d8 though. Weirdly,
we
you all
are.
picked classes that have a d8. It must just be the most common dice for hit dice. So yeah, you're resting up there. Aresia, following your conversation with Ferdy, you wanted to find an armorer. You managed to find... oh god, where's his name? You managed to find a chief sergeant that you guys have bumped into before. I think he had a bit of a run-in with Taran. I don't think he ever had a run-in with you, Aresia. And I don't think any of you got his name. Can you roll history for me, Aresia?
Don't know if she
Possibly
heard
the
you.
guy that told us to like shut the fuck up.
Pretty much, yeah.
No.
Aresia, can you hear us?
Did
I'm
you
gonna type
unmute
it to
me,
her.
by the way?
I haven't
I
muted
unmute
or muted you.
Okay, that's fine.
I haven't.
Oh, that means I actually did it
muted
myself. Whoa,
That's exactly what it was. Like,
Oh,
that can't have
know
been
what
me.
I
I
was
don't do
doing.
that shit.
it never happens, not even once.
Fucking hell, man. Livia, Sevi, you're all airing me out.
No, you're too long, Max. No, you're too
Airing
long.
me out. Like,
Okay.
I love how you have so little doubt, so little belief in yourself that you could have remembered to turn your own mute off.
I wasn't sure if I did or not.
It's just
Even though I
inconceivable.
asked the question and Josh responded. Damn you, MD! Damn you! I think she says she's messaging or something.
Yeah, it's in roll 20.
What's
So,
happening?
I don't know. I don't think Amy can hear us still. I'm not
I
sure.
can now. I'm
Hey,
doing my
good.
Hello.
So you come across Musasha Leonter, who says to you that he used to
Alright.
come across a guy that you slightly remember. I'm not sure if you're still hearing us.
I can. Sorry, I'm listening to the sound.
Sounds
You sound underwater when you come through.
You should have done that last session. That would have been.
or smothered.
Yeah.
Smothered by a pillow.
Yeah. I will revert to typing. You have the sword that Aresia is inquiring about is a blade that she also got from the tower, where she found 3 diamonds as well. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's good. So he essentially tells her that what she has is reminiscent of a far more powerful blade than what she is currently presenting. but that there is no armorer in this encampment that is going to be able to help her with that. It's way above their capabilities if he's right about specifically what this blade is, or what this seemingly odd, unfinished, lesser version of this blade is. So I'm going to type that to her now in case she isn't hearing it, so you guys can carry on talking.
Well, I'm not there, so
You are resting up.
I'm resting.
Now be a good time to get a drink.
Yeah, sure. Says that no one is skilled enough to put these things together.
The mayor's a
this
drunk.
encampment.
I mean, no, actually,
This
that
is-
comment wasn't real because I'm
Yeah.
not here. Sorry.
Have you met yourself?
I mean, sorry, we can't communicate because I'm not here.
Taryn can. I think
Debbie
that's
can
Taryn.
talk to Max though.
Hello.
Hello?
No,
No,
not
you
hello.
can't hear me.
Go
You're not
ahead.
here.
I thought you messaged me, Taryn. Come on.
You've been betrayed.
Hello.
Oh, you guys that have once used
Taryn.
Discord on mobile, Ulrich, can you turn the bot down on mobile? Is it possible?
Yeah, definitely can.
Yeah? How do you do it?
I'm pretty sure you just click on the bot itself, and that tends to come up with the volume bar. I haven't done it in a while, but
Cool. Send that to Amy.
yeah, Discord is having issues today because both me and Lucy have also been just kicked out of it for no reason. It is being really bizarre. Because everything else is connected perfectly. It's just Discord.
Yeah, I mean, the bots have been jumping in and out themselves for no reason, so yeah.
Sorry.
Ah!
No, the PC one came back. I'm trying both, but it keeps being weird on
Say
both
what?
phone and
Huh? Eh? Eh?
PC. Sorry.
Oh, we can hear you now.
Aha!
Sorry.
So yeah, nobody in this encampment is of a skill level good enough to put together what you're showing him, essentially.
Okay. Does he know what kind of location of a person I would need to talk to?
Well, a smith or potentially an enchanter would be the way to go.
Cool.
Yeah, but somebody of a higher skill tier than who they employ within the military here. You'd need a specialist.
Okay. Thank you.
So, after your various outings, everyone who isn't Nemea eventually returns to the tent.
Oh, I'm gonna fuss over Agatha. My baby.
And by this point, news has spread, and Aresia, you have information
My baby.
that confirms what Buxton was saying, in that the next week, now that everything has come to a close in terms of the situation with the encampment, everything's been resolved. Serenity Squad's no longer under investigation. Nobody's getting ill anymore, and everyone's been getting progressively better. Those that died are dead still. And also there was a mission to scout the woods. That's happened, and those people have come back. You just have information that was like a base level success. So you guys have a direction, essentially. As such, the next week is going to be spent with everybody helping to take down the tents and carts and whatnot of the various parts of the encampment so that you can move out. Of that time, you're all going to get 2-ish days of downtime. The rest of the week will be spent helping demolish the camp in a sort of step-by-step periodic way so that you can then move on. And the intention will then be to forward march into the woods further.
Can I try and find an alchemist?
Yeah.
Or I would potentially ask the enchanter if he knew any alchemy or knew someone who did.
Yeah, he would probably say that he knew of an alchemist in Stalvin,
Okay.
but there's nobody in the military.
Okay.
Kristen gets deliveries from messengers, and that's how their potions are restocked. Nobody's making them themselves.
Okay. I'll just thank him.
Cool.
If anything,
go on.
in downtime, I want to sort of just look what the cheapest improvement of a staff would be of
Well,
any kind.
you can look at that. That's in the PDF, so feel free to go look at
Yeah.
that.
Fuck's
Why
sake,
doesn't
so-
everybody roll initiative? And then we'll do some order of downtime. Livia, that's not a roll.
I thought they looked odd.
Oh shit! I
going
think I
on
need
with people?
tokens to be able to.
Oh, what happened? There we go.
Can I just no? Poop. I'm going back to the main map for a second. It's gonna look well weird on stream because you guys can't even see this part of the screen.
Hey, Livia, that wasn't a roll. That looks. Isn't that a roll?
No, she just
No, I
do a
put-
20 plus 2. That
Yep.
was just maths. Okay, Vice with the 21.
Oh, right. That's all the way up there. Let's see.
Livia with the 8.
Woo woo.
Arestia
Really?
12. Not 412. 12. There we go. Taryn 15. And Nemea has not rolled. She's going to spend all of her downtime learning stuff. So, Vice, with the highest roll, what do you want to do? I'm not sure if you're suggesting you want to start X Factor.
Hello.
You've lost sound. You can't hear us.
He's doing the YMCA.
The
Look, see?
YMCA, yes.
Yeah.
The irrelevant one is back. Hello.
He's obviously lost all sound. Are
Okay,
you on
we'll
mute?
skip past Vice. That doesn't change whether or not you can hear.
Are you on deafen?
No, and screaming it doesn't help.
I know, but it's funny.
Aresia then. God, we're just sound problem after sound problem. Aresia,
Hello.
you're here? Yes, good.
I'm here.
What would you like to do in your approximate 2-day downtime?
I know what I want to do, just not. I don't know how to do it. I would like to see if I could do anything to improve my intelligence, particularly my investigation ability.
Your what ability?
Investigation. I think.
My
Investigation, okay.
I'm always
Um,
like,
So in terms of like a permanent stat buff, outside of what the game gives you at certain levels, there are items, there are some that will like endow you with a permanent stat buff. There are others that give you a permanent stat buff but have to be constantly used, like Iron Stones and stuff, which I think in this we call Lianos Stones because she's the goddess of knowledge. You could potentially get like a temporary buff I'd be cool with if you spent your 2 days in study. You'd have to.
Yeah,
So if you're looking to specifically up investigation, then I would say you could spend the 2 days like doing
Well,
that sort of thing.
yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be. I mean, my overall intelligence, my intelligence stat is the weakest of the lot.
Uh-huh.
So, and the one that you keep asking us more than anything to roll is investigation. So I just really want to improve that.
Investigation is basically whenever you've specified what you're looking for, I'm probably going to get you to roll investigation. If I'm checking whether or not you've picked up on something, but you haven't specifically said you were looking, I'll likely get you to roll perception instead.
I'd still like to improve the intelligence stat if I can. So if I can even do that temporarily with study,
Uh-huh.
I'll,
Yeah, no problem. So I would say then the best way to go about it would be to probably speak to Kristen and just see if he has any particularly kind of like thinky plot twist style books. Is this the right one? Yeah, this looks like the right one. So he will sell you a book. I'm not sure this is the right book. Bear with me. One of these has many, many books in it, and that's the one I'm looking for.
You can't hear me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, you can. Oh, you can hear it. Ah!
Look how excited he is.
I swear, like I was talking
Books.
for so long.
can hear.
Okay, so for 3 gold... Oh, I've just errored on Twitch. I assume we're still streaming, but My Twitch just pooed itself for no reason. Yeah, we're still streaming. Oh god, I've forgotten the name of it. He sells you a book for 2 gold. I think that was the amount I just said. Called A Codex of Enigmas.
2 gold, yeah.
2 gold, and the book is called A Codex of Enigmas.
That's a good name of a book.
All right. Thank you very much.
Studying that book successfully for the 2 days will result in a temporary +1 to intelligence. It will last until you have used any intelligence roll 3 times.
Okay.
But you'll need to roll intelligence to see whether or not you are successful in the study of this book over this period.
Okay. You want me to roll that now?
Yeah, so roll intelligence now. It may impact the number of uses you get. If your roll is low, you may only get 1 increase rather than 3.
So it's just D20 plus the stat modifier.
Plus, yeah, the big number under int.
Yeah. Well, or minus in my case. Oh,
Okay. Okay, so this is like a book of riddles, and every single one you just can't get. It's just gibberish to you. Like, obviously, you understand the words. It's all written in common, but every single one, you're just like, after a while, you're like, do you know what? Riddles aren't for me.
Hang on. We've had a long rest since coming back, haven't we? But this isn't the same day.
No, this isn't the same day. We've moved on since the day that you've
We've
returned.
had a long rest. Okay. Can I use the favoured strike to re-roll?
Let me have a look at
Where am
Favoured
I?
Strike.
No.
So does
Am I
how does the weapons a free action to reroll 1 attack roll, ability check, or saving throw? This is an ability check, so yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Do it again, might as well.
Yeah, so roll again. And that has reminded me to jump the time forwards. Weakest 6 days.
Alright.
Cool. So that puts me at this many's. Cool. Okay. So you get the full effects. On the first day of like reading the first few pages and just not getting any of them, you flip to the back, and you find that in an odd, perhaps intentionally confusing way, they've actually put the more difficult ones at the front, and it almost reads back to front in terms of difficulty. So you manage to find some of the easier ones, and you study this over the full downtime period. And are successful in getting a +1 buff to any intelligence check, saving throw or otherwise, for 3 uses. So
Thank you.
+1 to int checks, 3 uses, and on the 3rd use it's consumed. So we will go back to Vice now that he's back. So Vice, what do you want to do in your downtime?
I'd like to try and cook, please,
Okay.
and gain my apprentice level,
Okay.
please.
Because you're like 1 away from it or something, aren't you?
2.
Okay.
2.
I've just realised this is cutting off halfway on stream as well. It's probably better to do this. It doesn't drag. Great. That's annoying. It just makes the
better to do
white
that.
space bigger. How stupid. What does that do? Oh, that's opening it in a new thing. Can I then drag it? No. Oh, I can do that though. That helps. This is all on the stream, I think. Ish. There we go. Cool. So, how many practices do you have, sorry?
I want 2, if possible.
Okay. And you're happy to spend the main side and flavor ingredients to do that, yeah?
Yes.
2 of each, if you're practicing twice.
Yes, please.
Also, you're not having to use rations or eat your own food in this time. Food's being provided over this week, as you're just all in camp, helping and otherwise having this downtime.
Cool. Right.
You're trying to get to apprentice level, right?
Apprentice level.
So that's 1 success and 1 fail.
Oh, could I have given him
That's good.
guidance?
No, 'cause
we're
you're
not,
gonna be doing
we're
your
not
own
together.
thing.
Yeah. Thanks, though.
How many practices are you on successfully? 'Cause you-
11.
11.
Oh,
So if you'd have got both, you'd have hit it.
Yes.
That sucks. Well, next practice success will get you there,
Cool.
fortunately.
So that was my day 1, right?
No, that was both days. What was the other
Damn
thing
it.
you wanted to do?
I wanted to go and go to Kristen, sorry, and check for provisions.
Okay, I mean, if you...
Well, I just get more ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh.
guys would have the time to like go buy Kristen's as you were just going about your day. You're gonna have some downtime every now and then whilst
Can
you're
I
helping.
just place an
dismantle
order
things.
with Kristen
Yeah,
then on
feel
the side?
free to just put
without-
what you want to put. I'll tell you what to spend. And if
Yeah.
anybody's buying things off the Discerning Merchant's Guide or anything like that, just tell me what you bought and take the money off. Assume you've got it and tell me afterwards, or tell me on your turn. So, Livia, what are you doing in your downtime?
I want to herb.
Okay.
I don't know if it's possible. I guess we're surrounded by forest.
Yeah,
so
you could definitely
it's
go
not-
out into the forest a little bit.
Yeah, I want to try and get some more healy herbs.
Have
I
you
know
got
I
the
can't.
herbalism book, the
No.
handout? I've definitely given it to you before. It's called Herbalism and Alchemy Homebrew. It's in the middle.
Josh, could you just the food and stuff is not on the
No, it's not. Just tell me what you want. Like, write a shopping list. I'll
Okay.
tell you what it's going to cost.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Livia, why don't you just roll herbs and get this off the Google Drive later? And for now, I'll work it out for you.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's a bit where it does it by terrain, if I remember correctly. Somewhere. Here we go. Cool. Are
Is it
you
just the one?
doing this for the whole downtime? Herbing the whole downtime?
Yeah, I haven't got anything else to do.
Okay, give me 2 rolls.
18.
Okay. So you find 2 blue toadshade,
I don't think I've had that before.
2 arrow roots, and then 1...
2 arrow roots, did you say?
Yeah, 2 arrow roots, and then 1 milkweed seeds. And that's uses.
Yeah. I know. That's fine. Thank you.
What those do, you'll need the handout for, so make sure you get that.
Well, I thought I had to buy it, like in game.
No, it's a like in real life herbalism and alchemy handout, so that we can do herbalism and alchemy a bit better. It's what we're going to use for the alchemy homebrew when we do finally make it. We're going to be using the
Okay.
herbs from this homebrew. Cool. Vice, I'd say 8 gold. I don't know how long milk is going to last though.
Well, I guess if he's using it for his practice.
I assumed he'd done his practice and was
yeah.
then restocking.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you hear me, Vice? Max? Vice? Can you hear
Can
us?
you hear
You're
us?
not saying anything.
Hello? Can you hear us?
Did you say he's not in Discord, Amy?
Who are we talking to?
Max?
Mac.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us anymore. I think his Discord's just pooing itself. That's fine.
Two
I'll
people,
type
two
it. 8
minutes.
gold. There we go. So Olivia, you're good with that, yeah?
Yeah.
Taryn, what do you want to do in your downtime?
Right, how much downtime are we getting?
Approximately 2 days. It depends what you want to do, whether or not it's going to be achievable.
Well, because we still haven't figured out anything to do with some sort of profession for me.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
gonna practice with
probably
spells.
not a mid-session thing, unfortunately.
Yeah. I've been trying to think of ideas, but I don't know how to make it work
That's cool.
quite nicely yet. Yeah, I want to just practice with a couple of bits. Witch Bolt and Shocking Grasp.
Okay, cool. I know Witch Bolt. Let me have a quick look at Shocking Grasp. Doop. Okay, cool. Roll me to hit with both of those spells.
Yeet.
So one for Witch Bolt, one for Shocking Grasp.
Shocking
it's the same
Grasp
roll, isn't it?
first. Yeah, spell attack. And then Witch Bolt for the second. Hey!
Nice. So you have advantage on your next Shocking Grasp. And you have advantage on your next Witch Bolt. And the initial hit of it will also do +5 damage.
Yeah. Well, +5 damage. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, just on the next Witch Bolt, and it won't. If you then cast Witch Bolt again on the second round, it loses that initial 5 damage.
Yeah, just like with the same like big bonus on that initial hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Just not as good. Schmick.
Okay, so everyone's good then. That's everyone's downtime, yeah?
Yeah.
Everyone who can respond. I assume Max is good. Cool.
So I'm enchanting, I assume.
You are
with
enchanting.
Doodly
We will
face.
come to you.
Okie
So,
Oh.
enchanting roll is going to be the same as the cooking roll. It's just a d20 plus proficiency. So, I need you to give me 3 enchanting rolls. I'm going to open it like this so that I can bigginize it for the stream. God, that's a lot of clicks and movement just to put it on screen. And this guy's trying to get you to apprentice, and this won't be practices required. This will be you either succeed his tutelage or you fail. It's kind of like the end of year exam. If you pass this, you will be a apprentice. That's the benefit of getting a mentor. Let me just read it. Tutelage, once you've passed the various classes trials, you can achieve up to 1 skill lower than your mentor, and you must progress through each individual mentorship. Can be stopped and resumed without losing any time of progress. Only. Oh shit! This is culinary grandmaster. Good. Consider trial which. Yep, no, that is how it works. That's how I thought it worked, and that's how I've written it. So that's good. So give me 2 more of those rolls, Namer. So 16 and 18 and an 8. Is that right?
No, she rolled 3 times already. 28 and 16.
Ah, I didn't see the initial 3. I just saw the 16. My bad. That's fine. We'll take the 20, the 8, and the 16. So you obviously went in energetic and all for it, but you realise as the study begins and he's sort of giving you all his time that the reason he said that this would be sort of like a difficult 2-day thing that he was cramming in was because he actually really does have a lot of his own work to do. He starts getting you to do some of the menial stuff in the middle, and you realise that over the 2-day study period, and it's probably like a full like 48 hours ish study period over maybe a couple more days than that, but the 2-day downtime, he probably wasted a solid 12 hours of it with you, just giving you shit jobs to do. But he's kind of reinforcing the basics as he gets you to do this. And though it feels like crap tasks that you've already mastered, he's, without it being overly obvious, he was kind of more looking to get the core ready to then take on more. So there's a bit of a lull in the middle of this training over the week period that makes it a little bit boring, and then at the end it starts to ramp up a little bit, and he teaches you some more complex stuff. Go on.
I was gonna say, like, I clutched the luck stone that
Zenny stone.
Taran gave me, yeah, that Taran gave me. Yeah,
I
the
think
Zenny
Asteros
stone,
gave you
I
that, didn't he?
clutched that. Yeah,
that's
probably.
true.
Okay,
Can't
that's
remember.
cool.
So yeah, I like see if that does anything.
Cool. Well, you can use it. We'll
Ooh,
take the.
You can use it?
It has a use. I don't know if you've read it, but
No.
you should probably read your shit, people. I have told you this before. I'll just take the 18 because that was your roll.
Stone of
That we
Zen.
didn't need. So
There
yeah,
we go.
stuff
Now
does
she
things
reads
when
it.
you read them. Without the Stone of Zenny, you had already succeeded, but with the Stone of Zenny, you succeed, and he kind of is like noticeably impressed with how well you did, especially since he's kind of, by the end of the week, he's kind of achieved everything he was supposed to do as well. And you go back to the tent like most nights to rest there if you don't end up working so late that he just lets you like sleep in a side cot in his tent. You go back like quite invigorated. You've hit apprentice level enchanting, I believe. Yes, so you now have the Enchanter's Apprentice ability, Divine Inspiration. I don't remember what it does. Feel free to read it. Let's read it ourselves.
God, no.
Read
Read it?
Now enchant a creature's activate the enchantment double damage. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so you now have access to that, and Vice is also very close to being an apprentice in his chosen profession. and then he'll get access to his apprentice thing. Cool.
Thank you.
So, the week comes to an end. You have all helped set up, or dismantle rather, not set up, the encampment. And everyone begins to gather in the open space and get ready to depart. Shortly afterwards, you start to move off into the woods. And it becomes clear that some of the clunkier portion of the military, things like Kristen's cart and stuff like that, that's like stocked to the brim, and some of the other carts that are carrying long pillars for tents and stuff like that, and the tarps and things like that, all of those fall back and have a general kind of guard that's watching the what's the word for it, like the meteor part of setup and like stoppage for the military. They're still moving further into the woods, but nobody really knows whether or not this will be the last stop before all-out war when you guys eventually reach the city. A number of things happen. So let me just check my notes here. So as you guys are moving into the woods, the initial bright lights of the clearing are almost immediately disrupted, and time becomes a little bit loose as it's clearish when is day and when is night, but because it's always much darker than normal, you stop looking up as much as you used to, you stop trying to check as much as you used to, and eventually there's sort of like a mid-tone of light and dark that everyone's kind of becoming acclimatized to. You've been walking for a number of days, only really stopping to badly like rest and
I think
Amy's lost her sound, it's fine. Only to like sleep rough bedroll style. Those that are moving carts and the like stop with them, and there's generally a turnover of guard, but your group, it being led by Aresia, are not really called upon to do any like official watches. They leave you to rest up as needed. They prompt you to carry on going when the rest of the military is carrying on going. And eventually you've been walking for quite a few days. I'm just going to jump the time forward a little bit here. And it's been close to a week since you've left the encampment. And I'll be deleting that map at some point because I don't think you guys are going to be coming back to it, if you can even find it again. What was I going to check here? The calendar. That's what I want to check. So it moves through to very much the end of summer. You're maybe a couple weeks away from the end of summer. But being a full season, it's been like 2.5 months of it. As I said, the trees have gotten taller and taller. Darkness is kind of encroaching around all of you a little bit. And whilst you're free to move about the constant march, the heavy footfall of feet on branches and the constant snapping of twigs, as there's clearly an impact of this larger force moving through the forest. You can move about, speak to whoever you want to speak to. Is there anything specific you guys want to do as this constant day after day march is moving through the forest?
No, I'm all good.
No.
Oh, good, you're back. I won't type it out. You didn't miss anything. You've been sleeping and marching.
Cool. So we left already.
You've been gone for about a week, marching full out almost every day. If I just zoom in on the map here, wow, that was way too much. So if you were... If you were sort of like here-ish before, you guys are heading... I mean, that's like a week. So I would say probably by the end of this week, you're getting right up to the water, and that's going to become a thing. Oh no, is it too small to... There we go. Yeah, so whereas before... Whereas before you were closer to the edge and the trees weren't getting too big before you found the clearing and the military moved in, you're now right up against this water section, and it's actually quite useful for the military to come into this body of water because it means that they know exactly where they are on the map. And you can see some relief of some of the leaders of the larger sections as they have a physical confirmation of their movements through the forest.
Okay, dokes.
Cool. Stop me if you want to
Sounds
do
good.
anything. Nemea and Vice, you guys are the only two that didn't speak. I assume you're good. You're
All
not coming
good.
through. Possibly muted.
Vice is muted.
He's muted.
for sure.
It's happened.
Ah! Dun, 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 dun.
Bwah, 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 bwah.
I feel like it's how like we christen our session every week.
You're joking! No, come on!
He had a one session.
I know, it's such a shock. It's such a
He
shock.
still did it last session. He just did it before the session.
Yeah.
I've had quite a good run, and all of a sudden,
I've not had a good
No.
run.
I've had about what 4 or 5 sessions.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
There was one session where you nearly didn't do it, and you did it at the very. No, you didn't
Oh
do
my.
it. Someone said that. Oh, there was one
Flick-
session.
flick the counter
we
back
did-
to 0 sessions, and we'll count it from this point forwards. We'll see.
Happily.
Okay, so it takes another kind of 2-3 days just across the body of water. There's a bit of a detour as you guys travel downriver because obviously you can see from the map, heading more northwesterly from this point would mean more water to cross. So instead they go a little bit southeast, reroute you slightly, and spend a lot of time crossing the river. We won't go through it, but eventually the river is crossed successfully. And I will put you guys... Do you know what? I'm just going to draw it again as a continuous line so that it's one piece when I move it around.
Because we don't want 3 sessions of us RPing getting through a river.
Exactly. Because I know how long that will take. Eventually, not only the group, but the entire military crosses the water. And it's actually at this point that the main supplies and the tents and everything like that, anything that isn't carryable, gets left here. A large...
Can you show where we are? Sorry.
Yeah,
on
you're the
map?
yellow cross on the map.
We have to zoom right in. We're by the Delira
Yeah,
tribe?
to the left of
Daliera.
in the Daliera tribe, which is where
Oh yes.
it's where
I see.
Lael was from, I
Lyell's
believe.
home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we should stop by.
You're gonna say hello to your fam?
My
Wrong
family.
fam.
Yeah, they're graves.
Sure, they're all
Hey,
well.
this is a good opportunity to pay your respects. That's all I'm saying. Like,
He's
if you've
dead.
been here for a while.
It's not Taran's family.
Oh yes, of course.
There we go.
I forget he's dead. Sorry.
I'm glad that's how well you
He's dead.
think of them.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
I know
that.
you didn't like Lael, but come on.
You know what?
Lyell
I
spent
think.
more time with you than Fina did, and you cared more
I-
about Fina.
Wow, damn. You know
Well,
what?
that's true.
Because I actually loved Fina. I loved her company. I despised Leia's company.
Do you remember the brothel of which he accompanied you to? No, it was Elvis.
Yeah, but we
That was
went,
Elkas,
we
yeah.
went there. We went there for
Different one,
information. We went there for information.
Information.
And you
nothing
stayed there
more.
for fun.
That coincidentally is their slogan. So
Oh.
the river is past, the hurdle overcome, and the Christens and the cart watchers of the Starvan military stay behind and essentially turn around to head back to Starvan. The assumption being a few things. There's never going to be a clearing like what you found deeper in the forest. There certainly hasn't been from what the scouts have come across. And getting any sort of resupply at this point is going to be near impossible as a result of your depth into the Wandering Wood and the fact that the Wandering Wood is well known as a dangerous place. With this in mind, and I know that I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, so if you want to think about it and then tell me afterwards, if there is anything you want to buy from Kristen before he leaves, now is the time. Pre-river.
Well,
Right.
Yes.
bugger all
Should have
money,
bought my
so-
fucking. Should have kept those 2 water breathing potions.
Well, you all cross successfully. A sort of makeshift bridge gets like a bit of the way, and then it's dismantled once more to not leave obvious tracks. If you do want to buy anything from Kristen, just use the Discerning Merchant's Guide. Tell me about it afterwards. But for now, we'll move on. As the weeks go by and you head furthermore into the forest, Livia reminds you all to purchase healing pots if you have the cash to do so. I believe they start
I try to
at
keep
50
you up,
gold.
but you should never solely depend on me. I am not always there.
Could die.
I could die, and then you guys are fucked.
But yeah,
Don't say such things.
It's true. You should be prepared.
if
No, we
Livia
don't
goes
need to
down,
worry.
we all go down.
That's not happening. You're not done.
It could happen.
It's 44 plus 4. Yes, it is.
Ooh.
There you go. So buy as many of them as you want and just let me know and move the money off. So, blah, 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 blah.
Did
So,
we get a reward from the...
you got the other 10 plat.
Yeah, that was what it was.
Yeah. Occasionally, Oresia, as your group is marching their part of the Stalvard military force, you are approached by low-ranking members of the military, and they just update you briefly on what's been going on day by day. They mention that obviously we're a little bit behind as a result of traversing the water. And whilst that was known, it took a little bit longer than intended because of the detour first. However, we're coming up to the end of summer. People are basically saying that like the weather's good for this sort of thing. Like nobody's going to be complaining about freezing their asses off in the midst of winter and trying to fight a war. So the grumbles, the everyday grumbles of your general military are not in a case of like being too cold or being too hot, fortunately, and that gets passed on to you as a sort of quiet, good piece of news. The rest of the news is relatively bad or mediocre. A number of wood elves have been sighted. 2 squads were dispatched a few days ago to take them down. 1 squad already returned successfully, having killed all of the wood elves that they saw and pursued. The understanding is that they were likely scouts, so that they don't return a message. The intention is just to wipe them out, essentially. 1 squad returned, having done that successfully, having killed 3 wood elves. As far as you're aware, or as the information suggests, the other squad is still in pursuit of the wood elves that they spotted. There's also been some whispers of some soldiers wandering too far out on the fringe of the entire movement, and disappearing. And that has been coming mostly from the northeastern side of the approach. Let me change this X into a arrow, or I'll just add an arrow. The worst arrow you've ever seen. Yeah, that's great. One of those.
Beautiful.
I'm only making it worse. That's the rough direction of the military. So when they say northeast, they're talking about sort of
Northwest.
northeast. Oh, that's an awful little X.
Isn't that west?
So on
Yeah.
your approach, when they say those people are moving northwest away from the group, northwesterly from the group's
Right.
visual, they're moving just up and to the right of where the group is approaching in. So they're saying basically people are disappearing, and it predominantly comes from roughly the location of the small blue X, which is too small for me to grab a hold of and move.
It's Lael's ghost.
So people are disappearing. Sorry, just so I understand. We're moving northwest, and people are disappearing, kind of where that blue X is.
A few people are moving out from the upper right-hand side of the main body of soldiers in the direction that the soldiers are moving. They move off, get a little bit distant from the group this way, and some people that have done that have disappeared entirely and not returned.
And do the majors, upwards, captains, all that jazz, do they know that that's happening?
Yeah, everyone knows it's happening. people have been told. The problem is that it's not happened frequently enough for it to be a huge deal. Reports that the occasional people have moved off and disappeared have come in. A few people have been dispatched to search the area. Those people that have all been dispatched to search have returned and basically come back with reports that they found nothing. So when this does happen, it's a little bit of, did that person just get lost? It's been privates mostly, so whilst they are sending a little bit of a search, they're not spending days and days. They're certainly not stopping the march to find these people. And yeah, that's basically it.
Okay.
Is there anything anybody wants to do at this point?
I bought 2 healing pots and I deducted the money.
Thank you.
The crappy ones.
Yeah. Does he have a Dispel Illusion potion? Let's have a look. I would say no. That potion does not exist as far as he's concerned. He could likely have you a spell scroll requisitioned.
Okay. Did he get me my book, my cooking book?
I have no recollection of you asking for a cooking book.
I asked him to find me a book of recipes.
Okay. No.
Well, fuck you.
Okay, so that's a no. I don't have either one of those.
Do you not have either one of those? I'm trying to find Dispel Illusion as a spell. Where the
think it's just
fuck
Dispel
is
Magic.
it? Oh yes, it would just be Dispel Magic.
Yeah, you wouldn't have.
Sorry,
Dispel
I thought you said Dispel Illusion as though that was what it was actually called.
Oh no!
In that
no,
case,
I think he's saying, "Can you've got something that gets rid of illusions?"
That would dispel
It would
illusions,
just
yeah.
be dispel magic. Yeah.
Then in that case, there probably are Dispel Magic potions. Can Dispel Magic dispel potions effects that are named like spells?
Got your back.
Thank you very much.
He dispel the effects for a potion. No, there doesn't seem to be potions for Dispel Magic. He can do you a 3rd level spell scroll, but it will take him a day to have it written.
Yeah, I haven't got time for you, Kristen. Sorry.
Oh, bird! I ain't got time for you.
I ain't got time for you, Kristen.
I got time for you.
You should have it ready, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
You bitch.
Well, he has a number of spell scrolls, but he doesn't specifically have that one. You guys are marching days on end, so a day's not that big a deal, but it does come at a cost of 400 gold.
Sorry, quick question. Is 1 plat 10 gold?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and 1
Yeah.
gold is 10 silver.
I'm new
etc.
to the whole money
cool.
side.
How much is it? 400, yeah?
400 for a 3rd level
400.
spell scroll.
So 40 plat.
That's without the cost of him paying somebody to write one. So you're essentially not paying for labour.
You need to relook at these prices. You know?
I haven't actually. So the thing I added earlier today, the thing that I found
going on?
online earlier, called Sane Magical Prices. I don't actually know what that puts scrolls at. Let's have a look if there is a huge difference.
There are a lot of cool items, but they are really, really expensive.
We
Yeah.
don't earn
Spell
enough.
scroll level
I mean,
0.
for everything we've done.
That's
we
because we're
haven't earned
basically
enough.
slaves in the army. They're not going to pay us a wage.
It's true. It's
Don't
true.
pay your slaves a decent wage, then they're not
And, you know,
slaves anymore.
there's weirdly not enough chests that we can open in our dungeons and stuff that we find that could give us money. You know?
Who
True,
said?
we need to
I mean, you're
delve for
not
magic
searching
shit.
through a whole lot of dungeons. You guys have mostly gone
Well,
to.
you know, whatever caves or whatever, wherever we are, there's not many places. That
This
we could,
this new
find
this new
done to
handout
find
does put the price at 200.
Ooh.
I feel like I'm inclined to agree with everyone that the prices of the Discerning Merchant's Guide are quite high, and this
Yeah.
Sane Magical Prices seems to be far more exhaustive. So let's go with Sane Magical Prices as of this session onwards, session 49. 200
Yourself
gold.
half price.
Where is that?
I put it in Discord earlier today. It's in
Okay.
Bela'Dun and Beyond. I'll
Thank you,
put it there
Josh.
again. So yeah, 200 gold if you want to use that price instead. I'll put it now as well, Amy, so it's the last thing in Bela'Dun and Beyond.
Thank you. I see it.
Do you
what's
want
the
that
name?
spell scroll, Vice?
for 200,
Yep, for 200.
yes.
Okay, so assume that the next day you find Kristen again. He provides you a Dispel Magic spell scroll.
Were you saying? Were you whispering?
I don't know. Does anybody want to do anything else before we move on?
your ears. No.
You bought some pots. Vice has a spell scroll. Didn't get a cooking book, unfortunately, and Kristen's leaving now anyway, so he's not.
I'll buy one standard healing potion from him.
Okay, 50 gold.
Yeah.
It's probably worth checking those on the same magical prices, just in case that's changed. But I doubt
I have
it.
It's 50. It's still
Yeah,
50.
I would doubt that changing because that's pretty common. Those prices have been used a lot.
Yeah.
Cool. Nemea, you good?
Yeah, because I don't imagine I can practice enchanting or anything.
No,
Really?
you're not. You don't have
marching.
the downtime to do that. Taryn, you're okay, yeah?
Assume that.
Yep. And Livia, you already bought a potion, so cool. As where's Discord gone? There it is. Rhythm just not playing anything. Thanks, robot.
Discord is just not having a good day.
No.
Where's the last thing I
Debbie,
played?
have you lost anything from Discord yet? Or lost
Nope.
yourself? No, you two
But-
are fine. It's just affected all the rest
Yeah,
of
but
us.
we spent like 75 quid this week on getting better internet downstairs. So I now have a wide connection and get up to 150 downstairs. So I'd be really pissed if I was losing my connection.
Yeah, but we tested ours when we first dropped, and our connection speed is like 200. So I don't know.
What, even wireless downstairs?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, so I don't
Music is
know what.
back.
Well, I guess it's not about speeds, it's about
It said
Stability on the wireless.
stability. That's the word, yeah.
Yeah, it was saying something about the server. I posted it in Discord. That the server owner switched to another region, but
Seems stable now.
yeah, it's behaved for a little while
It's definitely
now. So.
balancing out as the
Yeah, I hope-
stream goes on. Okay, so Kristen thanks you all for your stuff. He leaves southernly, and goes with a small force to leave the Wandering Wood and do the roughly 3-month journey back to Stalvin at this point. As the days go on, more and more reports of soldiers going missing begin to pour in. It becomes almost a daily thing before the march is brought to a complete stop. At this point, it's some of the higher-ups discuss tactics, and word on the wood, because it's not really a street, is that this isn't something that they can carry on walking and just ignore, but it's also not something where they can stay for very long at all. It's likely perilous, but so is trying to hold this almost entirely undefendable location. And as various strategies are discussed, one is eventually agreed upon, and that is that they send the expendable group to go and find out what the fuck is happening.
A
Oh,
fucking
of course they
fabulous.
do.
The slaves! Send the slaves!
the
I mean-
expendables.
The expendable slaves so we don't pay a wage.
Point of being considered expendable.
I don't think Aresi is the one being considered expendable. Aresi
still
is the
not.
one being considered competent enough to make this a
Sorry,
success.
Still though.
Wow.
So at some point over the period, I'm going to jump time forward a little bit again, just in days. Oh shit, that's not how you type things. There we go. That 2-week period coming to the end of summer has almost entirely passed. You're about a week, a little bit less than a week from the end of summer now. Aresia, you're approached by one of the higher-ups in the military that essentially explains this to you in a more formal fashion. Let me see who I have.
So
Where's the
tries to
military
dress it up.
ranking? One sec. Nope. So they come and, yeah, like Livia says, they dress it up a bit and essentially advise you a rough location of where these disappearances have predominantly been coming from, and they ask you to go and investigate. They tell you that you'll be paid
Okay.
for the task, and that if you come across anything, it's yours to keep. They're not looking to gain anything from this. your primary objective is to rescue anyone that has gone missing who's still alive, because it's been a few days, and the assumption is that if they've not come back of their own accord, they're likely dead by now. And secondly, to determine the cause of what's causing the cause of why people are going missing and putting end to it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a small job then.
So that happens late one evening, and it is, in terms of whoever's doing the notes, I'll put the date here. This is the year as well. So that's the exact date and year. Sarah 25 of the year 435. And the next day comes around, so 26, where the military is holding, and you guys are expected to essentially investigate this.
Okay.
So it's quite early morning, or mid-morning.
All right, let me just write that in my notes.
That's cool. I assume you would have briefed the group the night before. If you want to do that in-game, feel free to tell them now.
Okay. So this was last night, and this is...
Yeah, you were met with by a major last night. It wasn't Ferdy. And they tasked you with this role.
Okay. Where are we? Have we all got our own little, like, makeshift tent, like travel tent?
So the travel tents that you guys have are kind of like one-person-y type thing. It's not freezing enough when you're in your bedroll that you really need the tent. So mostly people are just sleeping in bedrolls, leaving their armor next to them, leaning up against trees. The watch takes like a wider berth of the main force and is swapped out regularly, but they're not counting on your squad to take watch at any point. So you're a bit of a grouping.
Okay. So I'm just going to go to each of them and make sure they're awake and say, everyone, get up, get up, get up. Need it. We need to discuss something.
Uh-huh.
All of you.
We're up.
Maya,
Just fine.
Guys, Livia, everyone here, everyone awake? Wake up! Wake up!
We're up.
Yes.
Right, everyone.
Put my armor on.
We have a new mission.
Great.
So, as you have heard, as we've been travelling, a few of our number have disappeared, and as the days have gone on, that number has increased. And now it's been determined that whatever is causing these disappearances is a threat. So, our very competent and talented group of warriors have been chosen to go and see...
Dispensable slaves.
I wouldn't consider myself expendable,
Well,
would you?
you, obviously.
Listen, if there was no success guaranteed or even a chance of it, you wouldn't be selected. They put competent people out toward it. Have belief in yourselves. Stop being so negative about it. We bring that energy in, we're not going to get anywhere, okay? We can do this. So our objective is to go and find out what's causing these disappearances, try and save who we can, assuming they're alive. I'd like to think they are, but as you know, a number of them have been gone for quite some time. So who knows? We are going to be leaving very soon, so I'm going to give you 10 minutes to get yourselves together. And while you get yourselves together, I am going to get someone to look after the chicken in our absence.
Good call.
Any questions?
I was already planning it.
All right. I know just the person.
I could hear the mischief in your voice of good choice. It would have done.
So everyone get ready. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Be ready to go. Get your provisions, get your things. Any questions before I leave you to it?
No questions.
Marvelous.
She's
I'll be
just
back in 10 minutes.
straightening us out.
Give me the cage. Give me the chicken.
Who are you going to give it to? Just don't give it to any old Dick and Harry.
Listen, don't question me. Time is of the essence, young lady. You don't know many people.
And she is important. She doesn't get thrown off to someone who might make her as dinner.
Give me the chicken. Maybe I'm not arguing with you. Nemaya, give me the chicken.
I'm not part of this.
Give me the chicken. That's an order.
I'm more likely to kill it than anyone else here.
Yeah.
You just say that to aggravate me. You won't actually kill her.
Right,
Then I'll just
so
let you die.
I'm gonna take the cage, I'm gonna take the feed, and I'm gonna walk off.
Give it to someone sensible and a
I'm
vegetarian.
I deem appropriate. Shut up and get ready.
Vegetarian.
Right, Josh,
Yes.
I'd like to find his cast, please.
I was going to use his gas. It's so obvious. Easily the best choice. So amidst the various other people like grouped up, you find a group that sits at least one short, and then you see somebody off in a bedroll by himself, a bit far away from his squad, and you approach him. He's awake, he's skittish and a little bit uncertain. He sees you there and he's like,
There's another loss.
Lieutenant, is there something how can I help you with?
Private Hiscast, just the man I'm looking for. You've done a tremendous job doing those small missions for me in the past, and I'd like you to do another for me.
Oh, of course, yes, anything you need.
Right, so my group and I, we've been sent out on a last-minute mission. We'll be leaving imminently. But this beautiful creature here, her name is Charlotte. She is very dear to our group, and we can't afford to bring her with us in case anything happens. So please, could I ask you, can I entrust you with this very, very important mission? I want you to care for this chicken, look after her, and that when we return, she is safe and well.
Oh yes, yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
This chicken, I'll be honest with you, while this chicken is, like family to the group I'm looking after, I'm very, very fond of the chicken myself. I'll be told you. So please look after her.
No, yes, I actually grew up on a farm, so this is fine. And
Oh, marvelous.
he takes Agatha from you, thinking she's called Charlotte.
Yeah.
And it kind of sits her on him a little bit, and she looks a little bit uncertain. And he kind of stares at her right in the eyes and like looks over a little bit, and he puts his hands under her wings and like pushes on her back a little bit, kind of like lifts her and like clicks her back slightly, and you can hear like a slight click. And it looks like nefarious potentially, and he rests her back down, and he looks at Charlotte and he goes, yeah, I thought that might help, Charlotte. You were standing a little bit weird there. And then Charlotte kind of moves around and lays an egg. And then he looks and sees the egg and is like, and he kind of takes it and he's like, I think this belongs to you, and like holds it up.
Thank you. I'll take that. I must say, you are a natural with poultry. That's amazing.
Oh yes, yes. It's not long that I left the farm actually. It's been most of my life.
I always thought about running a farm one day in another life. We should talk when I come back from my mission. I'd be interested to hear about your days as a farmhand.
Yes, certainly. Whatever you need.
Well, thank you very much for accepting this. I trust you completely with Charlotte, and I look forward to seeing both her and yourself once we return.
Thank you very much. And he's kind of looking past as though like your recognition of him is going to gain him some favor with the squad that seems to have clearly like outcast him a little bit, and they're looking at him, and it kind of dawns on him that maybe instead of being recognized as like somebody that's helping a lieutenant, he's maybe just got a new chicken related nickname.
Do I see him looking at them?
Yeah, ish.
Okay. Is there a leader of that group there?
Yeah, he's likely with them, or she. You don't know who it is specifically, but you can see the group of them. Yeah?
Yeah, can I just walk over? Excuse me, who among you is the leader of this group?
That would be me.
Hello, I am Lieutenant Teresia Godwin. I don't believe we've had the pleasure.
I think we've met briefly last year. I took over from Tanika in the mess hall. She shakes your hand.
Ah, yes, apologies. I don't think we've been formally introduced. I think we're just seeing
No,
each
I
other.
believe you're right.
Listen, I'm about to head out on a very urgent mission, so I won't tarry too long. I understand that you look after not just his cast as part of your group as well.
Yes, his cast is part of this squad.
I have entrusted him the chicken, and I want to ensure that he gets from his squad.
Oh,
Anything.
move your mic away from your nose.
If anything happens to this chicken, let's just say I'm not going to be happy. I trust him to do the job, and I trust your squad to support him in that.
She looks over at him and sees the chicken and looks back at you and just goes, "Certainly, Lieutenant. Orders are orders."
Thank you. Right, have a good day. Good luck with the march, and we'll see you all again, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Very well.
I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
Head back to the group.
Cool. So, the time has passed. Aresia returns, and as your group have the opportunity to head further into the wood, I'm just going to quickly change this and minimize the number of these because I don't need that anymore. You head for a number of hours away from the main grouping, the military grouping. Is this like the quietest music ever, or is it?
It is really quiet.
I can't hear it.
I've got it at like 180% and I still can't like hear it. I'll find new music in a second. You head away from the group for a number of hours, and eventually, through moving through the forest, it's clear that like you can't see the main body of. And now it's decided to go really loud. It's like it can hear me. You've moved far enough away that you can't see the main group of the Starving military, who were holding position. They weren't marching on without you, purely because they can't afford to continue marching and lose more people, especially since it was kind of ones before and then ones more regularly, but they've just sent a group of like 5 or 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. Asteros was noticeably amidst the main group, but he doesn't come with you. So, can I have you all roll? Well, it depends. If you're specifically looking for something, trying to search for anything, feel free to roll investigation. If you're generally okay, cool. Arcana, go for it. If you're just generally keeping an eye out, then go for perception. I'll leave it to you.
I would just be looking for anything generally unique around the area.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll perception.
I mean,
Cool.
Thinking, I would be on the sort of thinking of wood elves, so I'd be looking up in the trees, specifically to see if there's anything unique up there.
Okay.
That's what I would. Would that be perception or investigation?
That would be investigation.
Good. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, you're looking
Yeah,
for something
shit roll
specific.
anyway.
I've correctly wormed my way to the exact roller, and it's a crap roll.
Sorry, what was it you wanted
Every
rolled?
time.
Sorry.
So it's up to you, Vice. If you want to search for something specific, perhaps even in a specific way, feel free to tell me what that is. If you're just generally keeping an eye out, just perception is fine.
Can I climb a tree?
You can certainly try.
You want to challenge me?
I can know
Climbing the tree?
No, Vice, you
Just
stay on the
perception from
ground.
you, or you good?
You stay on the ground.
Yeah.
Where it's
Roll it when
I
you go
swear,
down.
we're gonna end up returning from our mission. They could be like, "Oh, where's Lieutenant Aresia?" It's like she fell off a tree. She's dead.
I have climbed
Right,
many a
sorry.
tree. How dare you? You think I am? You think a lieutenant can get to be a lieutenant without climbing a tree? Come now.
We'll see.
Who's climbing trees?
Whilst
I'm
we're in the
sorry.
middle of a war in the
Vice is not
forest.
climbing the
What did I miss? What was it? Investigation or investigation,
very
please?
clear.
General perception. If you're just keeping an eye out. If you're looking for something specific, I'd like to know what the specific is.
Tracks.
Vice, you were just keeping an eye out, right?
I was, yeah.
Perfectly good.
Tracks and drag marks.
Okay, cool.
I'll roll perception. Do I have to? Can I climb the tree?
In a moment, you can climb the tree.
Okay, I'll wait.
That's 20, nice.
Why
Cool.
do you want to climb the tree so much?
So,
Huge point.
It is your way.
Yeah,
It is my
I got you.
world.
I have no magic, all right? I can't even climb trees.
You also have a crap load of armor and 2 swords.
I have 3 swords. I have a basic one and 2 good
And a
ones.
bag of
And I have a bag
never-ending
of
swords.
like magic swords, or like ghost swords.
You have the bag. You haven't used it yet.
I have not because I already have swords.
Hmm.
But I'll find a way. I'll make it work.
Okay. So, Taryn, specifically watching for wood elves or anyone potentially spying on the group, you search around and you see movement, plenty of movement. There's a almost constant like lulling, abating wind throughout the woods. The ruffle of branches and trees and bushes and... In my mind, I was about to say the word shrubbery, and I was like, there's no place for it. And then because I was thinking about it so much, I just stopped talking. So, you see various shrubberies. You do not see any wood elves, to the best of your ability. Aresia, you are just generally keeping an eye out. You don't particularly pick up on anything. You do see some larger trees. You've certainly gone deeper into the woods now. We're talking like 80 feet plus, potentially. Some... huge, much larger trees than anything Vice has perhaps ever climbed, certainly in your presence. But nothing untoward outside of just generally the trees surrounding you. Livia, were you doing something specific, or are you just generally looking out, Livia?
I was looking for tracks.
Are you eating
Yes,
ice
you
cream?
were. Okay.
Is that what you're doing? You're eating ice cream over there. It's like, oh yeah, I'm looking for tracks.
Livia starts eating like a corner of a ration pack as she like intently focuses on the floor. You do find some tracks, Livia, but they're so like muffled that when you finally kind of find more distinct footing, you realize it's just wildlife. And you
There
let
have
it go a
been
little bit.
wildlifes through here. I can tell.
Nemea, you are definitely picking up on some sort of magic aura off into the distance. Not near where...
the blue?
well, the blue's a rough location. I mean, the width of that blue is like a week's travel, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're picking up a rough sort of northeasterly location of some sort of magic, and obviously just general kind of low-lying energies of your surrounding party. Vice, you recognize that Aresia is sort of eyeing up this tree. You think she looks like she might be about to climb it. You can do with that what you will. You see Nemea seems to be picking up on something, and that the rest of the group don't really seem to have anything, but you've definitely picked up on the fact that Nemea has, like, certainly seems to have some sort of purpose in her investigation, whereas the rest of them seem to be faffing about a bit. Is there anything you specifically want to do?
I'd like to ask the mayor what it is that she...
Okay, great. So, whilst you head
you
over to
sniffing at?
Nemea, Aresia, you
Yeah.
begin to climb the tree.
Okay.
Give me an...
I
wouldn't recommend that technique.
But,
Well, you chose to go to speak to Nemea, and you passed Aresia on your way. Aresia, you will need to make an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice, for
I'll
each 10 foot
do-
of tree that you climb.
I'll do athletics.
Okay?
Will I be able to overhear
No,
Bison and Mayor?
no.
Oh, but they're only 10 feet. That's not miles away.
Yeah, but they're about
You pay
20,
attention
30
to your
feet away
tree.
from the base of your tree. They're not just like standing around the trunk of this tree, like to have a conversation whilst you
So
start
yes.
to climb it.
How are you doing? Just shaking the tree as they're talking.
Okay, so you start climbing, you get 10 feet quite happily. There aren't any particularly low-hanging branches or anything like that on a tree of this size. You're doing quite well, considering you're in, what, medium armor, I would guess? As a
Considering
fighter?
advice.
Light, I think. Well, might be medium.
I
I actually
suspect
don't know.
it's
I don't
medium.
know what.
Does it say chainmail? Is it chainmail? I feel
Oh,
like you're
yeah,
wearing
no, I-
medium armor.
Yeah, I have chainmail.
Yeah, I'm
that's
pretty
it.
sure it's medium.
Yeah.
I could check, but I'm not going to. Nonetheless, climbing this tree without any sort of handholds or anything like that is impressive. If you want to carry on climbing, carry on rolling.
Oh god.
I just ISIS thing. I'm going to say.
Tempting
Threat.
Climb up another 10 feet.
Okay, roll athletics.
Yep.
Okay. You climb a further 10 feet. You're 20 feet up at this point, holding on quite happily. Still no branches, particularly. Some real small ones, but as you kind of like grab it, it snaps in your hand, and you decide to like dig your fingers into the barky exterior instead, like you have been so far. Vice, you reach Nemea in this time. You overhear the clanking of partially metal armor against tree, and you think you recognize the sound for a moment, but you're intent on going to find out what Nemea seems to be honing in on.
Yeah.
Hi, Vice.
Hi, Maya. I mean, I don't want to look back, but it sounds like Lieutenant is climbing the tree.
Oh, no, get her down, will you? You know what happened to you.
No, I do know what happened to me, but I thought, you know what? Let me just let her do what she's doing. And maybe, I'm quite impressed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite impressed. For someone, with so much armor, I didn't think she'd be able to get that high.
It's medium.
He's in light armor, I think.
I'm
Actually,
light armor.
I'm not even sure you are. You're in the slime armor.
I'm light. I'm leather. That's got to be light. Come on.
It's medium.
Oh, come on.
It was definitely medium. I remember the
Yeah,
discussion.
it's medium breastplate armor, it says.
Auric, if there's ever a time I don't want you to remember anything, it's right now.
It's literally
I only
written on the
remember
handout.
unnecessary things. I never remember anything useful.
You remember a lot of
That's good.
stuff that happens in the past. It's really good. Right, but this time, please, just, right?
Let me have this one.
And the mayor, so I see that you're really focused on what it is that you're trying to look at. What is it you see? What is it you're looking for?
I don't know what it is yet, but I can sense some kind of magical presence from towards the direction where people have gone missing. So I'm assuming we're doing well.
Do you
And
feel
should probably
that
keep forward this way.
Okay. Do you feel that it feels similar to that fog that we came across before?
Oh,
Fucking
can I
hell.
roll?
Yes, roll Arcana. Aressia, do you want to keep climbing?
Yeah, I'll climb another 10.
Really?
Okay, roll it. Nemea, you're uncertain, but the fog certainly starts with a fog, and as you can look into the distance as you can look into the distance of the rough location that you're sensing something, it's not foggy at all.
Okay.
Aressia,
Well, I'll say
you
that.
again quite deftly climb another 10 feet up this tree. You're 30 feet up at this point. You're starting to reach some of the smaller branches. They're starting to just about have enough heft to make like handholds. You wonder whether or not you could rest your full weight on one of them, but you can certainly pull yourself up whilst holding onto other parts.
Lieutenant,
What?
are you trying to prove something to me?
Shut up! I'm trying to get a viewpoint. You think
Yeah.
I'm so good? You climb a tree.
Well, I mean, you're already there, Lieutenant.
Oh, shut up!
Haven't you now got like a ring or something, Vice? That means you can
I
jump.
do.
The ring of jumping.
I do, but Lieutenant wanted to.
But this is much more fun.
This is absolutely the
Right,
best.
I'm 30 feet up. Can I see anything from my vantage point?
Roll perception or investigation, your choice.
Trees.
I'll be perception.
So, unfortunately, as a result of the density of the trees, despite the height at which you've climbed, it's quite difficult to see the wood for the trees, as it were. So, nothing specific. You can see the same, like, distant shaking of branches and bushes and things that Taran was picking up on before. Livia was picking up on before. But you suspect general wildlife. You see Taran doing a bit of a wider sweep of the group and specifically searching
Excuse me,
for
sorry.
spies and the
Very
like.
Mhm.
And coming back seemingly happy enough that you're not being watched in any fashion.
I'm going to shout down. Can you guys see anything?
I want to respond with jumping up that tree.
Okay, your vertical
can't
jump
jump
is not
30
nearly
feet.
as high as I think you think
jump.
it is.
I can jump, right? I can jump.
You can jump.
I
You
need
can...
I need a 10 I need a
I
10
can't
foot
jump.
run.
No,
I need a
that's
10-foot run
a
up.
running jump. That's a long jump. To climb a tree through jumping, you're going to need to literally, like, high jump. When you make a high
Okay.
jump, you leap into the air a number of feet equal to 3 plus your strength modifier. If you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump. So what's your strength modifier, and is it -1?
It's -1.
Cool. So you can jump 2 feet vertically if you have a 10-foot run up. With the ring of jumping,
I don't understand.
you're a
Okay.
heavy dude. With the ring of jumping, you can jump
He just called
6
you
feet. So you can jump 6 feet
Come on.
directly up if you have a 10-foot run up. So you
Which is
could
basically-
run and jump with the ring of jumping and get 12 feet up by just grabbing hold of whatever you try and grab hold of.
Can I throw my ring of jumping to?
Won't she have to attune to it?
To Aresia, yeah, that was my question. Does it require attunement?
Yes, it definitely does.
I'm not
It's
feeling
magical. It's magical. It's got
Not
to.
all magical items require attunement. I think the ring of jumping does. Yeah, it does. Taryn's right. Ulrich's right. I just didn't make a handout for it, but that's what I said earlier. To be fair, yeah. So you could take it off and throw it to her, but you'd just be throwing a ring at her.
No, because it's at this point that I realize.
And you've got to
that
throw it
that
about
purchase
25
was
feet up
ridiculous.
at this point. I don't know how good your strength is.
That purchase was ridiculous. You know, why did I buy that?
It was brilliant.
You're primarily using it for high jump purposes. It's tripling your long jump distance, and you're not using that at all. Like...
Oh yeah. But I don't. I tried to use my triple jump. Sorry, dump.
I tried to dump, okay?
I tried to triple jump earlier on. Sorry, when we were
You
fighting.
did
those-
think about it, yeah, that's true.
I did think about it.
That would have been
the
great.
hags, but I would have. I feel as though
You didn't have the 10-foot run up in that instance, so
something-
it was less.
I didn't have the 10-foot run up, and
Yeah.
I also feel that I would have fallen into the chasm.
I really wanted you to try so that I could have you fall into the chasm, yeah.
Yeah,
I was a little disappointed
I
when you
know.
didn't do
I
it.
know that that's what you wanted, Josh.
I
That's
know.
why I didn't do it.
I would have left it to the rolls, but it's just what I wanted to happen personally.
Nope. Then I'm going to shout back to Lieutenant and say you're doing a fantastic job.
Keep going!
Hang on.
Keep going.
This says when you make a long jump, you cover
Why
a
do you look
number
like
of
that,
feet
Lieutenant? Why
up
are
to
you
your
looking like
strength
that?
score,
I don't care for your
not your
tone.
strength modifier.
Why?
I don't give me
I'm
a-
being like I'm encouraging you, Lieutenant.
Don't patronize me, Bard. I'm gonna go up another.
Okay, roll to climb.
Wow, boy, call me by my class.
Vice.
You're doing something like that one.
Well, it is.
We ready? Come on.
Fun.
Yay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, successful climb. You're roughly how tall? 5 foot something?
I am 5'6".
Okay, I'm gonna call it 5 feet for the sake of your height. You're
Your
currently 40 feet
I'm
up the tree at your top, 35 feet at your bottom. It's relevant.
Not 5'8".
It's relevant if you fall. Vice, with the ring of jumping, you can long jump 27 feet if your strength score is a 9.
On the floor.
Well, my strength score is not a 9.
What is it, an 8? It's a -1, so it's got to be a 9
it's an
or
eight.
an 8.
It's an 8.
Okay, cool. So then 24 feet. That's pretty impressive.
24 feet. Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
Let's see if that's even better than the world record. What's 8.95 meters in feet? 8.95 meters.
So
29.
it's more like-
You can jump with a magical item. You can jump what, 5 feet less than a Olympic long jump person?
Why? Why do you have to even bring that statistic up? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's got nothing to do with this world. Like,
You've heard tell of a man that once
everyone knows
unaided.
I am jumping the longest anyone's ever jumped.
You've heard talk of a man that once unaided jumped 29 feet. in this world.
Thanks.
Cool. So, Aresia, your viewpoint remains the same. It's
I don't think
trees,
I'm ever
essentially.
Gonna get to use this jump. I swear.
I really look
Gonna
forward
ever-
to like just the end boss of the entire campaign just being slightly wide chasms. That's it. There's no boss to fight. It's just mild jump-based challenges.
Please do.
Okay, what am I? I'm like 40 feet up now, aren't I?
If you fall, it will be 3d6, but you're about 40 feet up at your head height, yeah. Nemea, the origin of the arcanic energy that you are sensing, you can sense well enough that you think you could follow it.
I will lead the group there if we're not already heading.
Okay. I mean, I assumed everyone was kind of holding position whilst Aresia climbed a tree.
I would be watching quite
Okay.
intently,
Okay.
just
I'm
nudging.
gonna call up to
Just like,
Aresia and tell her that Nemea has a lead.
I'll be
She can
back
sniff
down.
out something magical. She's like a tracker dog.
I want to nudge Liver and just be like, do you think she's
Like
gonna
a
fall?
tracker dog.
I'll be like, the tree.
I don't think she
you
caught
say?
that, Taryn.
Touch tree while
Do
looking
you
at
think
Livia.
she's gonna fall?
I mean, maybe.
Well, I'm not going to be one to catch her. That's all I know.
Why
Okay.
not?
We're at 2d6 based on the next roll.
Well, I don't want you getting jealous now, Livia, do I?
Ooh, are you a thing?
What do you mean jealous? I'm not jealous. I don't even go jealous. I don't know what you're all about that for. Oh, look, she nearly fell.
I don't know about that. I think I might roll my own thing. Give me one more, Aresia.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was doing this, sorry, bit by bit.
Yes,
Oh, no.
you are doing it bit by bit.
Favor blade.
I wanna give
Yes, you
myself
can use your
bardic
favourite blade.
inspiration.
It's once
I
per
wanna
long
give
rest.
myself bardic inspiration.
Favor blade!
You're not close enough, I don't think, or reactionary enough to. It's a bonus action. You'd need a
Yeah,
reaction.
okay, so get
Okay,
4.
cool.
12 and 16.
So, what's you're a fighter, right? There was no fighter in Critical Role. I was trying to use an equivalent dice to. We'll go with the barbarian. Okay, fine. As you are about 20-ish feet up, sort of 25 feet up instead of 35 feet up, you slip. However, about 3 or 4 feet down in this slip, you catch yourself once more, kind of dig in on the exterior of the tree a little bit, and then as you continue to climb down, you get another kind of 3-4 feet, and then you pretty much drop. As you start to fall, I'm gonna check whether or not Favored Blade is. I don't think it's reactionary. The sword is on your
It's
person.
not.
You can call for the
Why?
as a
Why
free
are
action.
trees our enemy?
It
Like,
is.
trees are our biggest enemy.
It's less than a reaction. It doesn't even have to be touched. So as you begin to fall, you think about the fortuitous blade in its scabbard on your hip, and as you try and grab the tree once more mid-fall, you sort of spider cling to it. You dig your boots in a little bit, slightly pointed, and you manage to catch yourself. And then as you've stopped, you're only about 5 feet off the ground. So you sort of just look down and then just let go and drop the remaining 5 feet and you land. It was eventful, but you made it down safely. It's certainly a better dismount than Vice has ever done from a tree.
I'm gonna clap.
A small clap as well.
I'm going to do a slow clap.
I'm gonna elbow Vice. Be like, see, that's how you do it. See, see.
I'm doing this,
Good job, Captain.
Big talent, man. What's wrong with you, Livia?
What do you mean?
See, her face is more than 5
Some
foot
sort of
from
rank.
the
I
ground.
can never remember which one it is. Captain will do.
It's, Captain is well above.
Captain?
Is it? Well, she's on
Well
Captain.
above.
It's only one above.
Square up to Vice, and I'm going to be like a few inches away from his face. I'm
Oh.
just going to say,
Sit on him.
why were you watching me so closely?
Yeah,
Um,
Vice. Why
was
were you watching us so closely?
Simply observing your abilities.
Posterior. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Lieutenant, that's all it was. I mean, nothing more.
There's a slightly
gonna kiss right
skirty nature to the exterior of the lower part of Aresia's armor, not dislike her image.
You looked up her skirt, you pervert. That's our major. You know. You can't
you
look up
have a
her
wife?
skirt.
He's like, can I just ask, is Livia getting Aresia's title wrong, like Aresia's getting the chicken's name wrong? It's just like, if I can say that.
Not intentionally, but I
That's
can
what
never
this is, you
fucking
know. I think
remember.
this is like a
So I just pick up a rank and I say it.
Rank, so
major.
Oh, isn't that funny?
I like
This is
that
why-
Livia gets one rank
Honestly.
higher every time she gets it wrong as well. She's doing it
I know,
sequentially.
like,
She doesn't even have the list of ranks, but she's managing it.
So
It's
Regent
subconsciously I
Aresi,
know it. She's going up in my estimation.
Why
and
don't
I'm
you just call
promoting
her
her.
private, Livia? Huh?
That's
Next
rude. That's what.
Well, so you
Normal
know what a
people are.
private is, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, but you do too. Okay. Yeah.
The sexual energy in the air is throwing off the mayor's magic.
So,
You don't want
I mean,
to.
I was quite impressed with your tree climbing
Area.
skills.
My tree climbing, yes,
Yes.
and
yes.
only my tree climbing.
Only your tree climbing, yes.
But
Good. I'd like to think you were brought up well.
I was.
it was not.
Backstory doesn't go that far?
I don't remember my wife's name or my mother's, but I love them both dearly.
Ned, I'm going to walk away from him, and I'm going to walk over to Livia, and I'm going to just
You are punishing me in a different way. Like,
I'm going to just walk over to Livia and say, Livia,
yeah. Sorry.
listen,
Yeah. You did really well.
told me
Huh?
that back when Vice, I learned that Vice could turn invisible. You told me that he was a decent man. That's still the case, right?
It was a lie then, and it's a lie now.
Well, what's your definition of decent? I squint back. I don't think it's as clear on my webcam as it was
oh my
yours.
god.
Are you asking if he looked up your skirt? Because he most certainly did.
Did he look up my...
You were up a tree. Any man would have.
um,
I nearly did. I was too busy poking him there.
Lieutenant,
I mean, I've got, like, my thoughts on them. I've got...
not to
Yeah,
press
yeah,
or
Go
anything.
with the wind. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
you said you found something. I'm walking away from these two.
Taran is like behind you, Arestia trying to say something.
Sorry, Taran, yes, Taran, speak to me. Come here. I'm going to put my arm around his shoulder and walk away toward my... Yes, what have you got to say, my friend?
I was going to say not to press you, but Nemea has been waiting there for a bit to guide us.
Right, Maya,
I'm there, like, my eyes closed, one of my hands in the air,
Big concentration.
completely concentrated, oblivious to this entire
It's this
thing.
way.
And I'm just like, this way.
Jesus.
And I just walk forward really dramatically. And
Okay.
everyone's just like laughing. to
I'm just
themselves.
going to slowly, like, push Aresia's hand off my shoulder and just, like, walk over, just like, I'm going to go with, like, yeah.
So, as the march continues on, a separate march to the one that was previously brought to a halt, as you guys are, as quickly as you possibly can, investigating the disappearances. Nemea, you make your way into the wood, somehow guided by, or like it's as if your outreached hands are a sort of tuning fork guiding the way into the wood. You move with purpose, and the group are following you. As you do so, you eventually reach quite a large tree. Let's describe it in basic words. Four letters
she
or
loves
less. You find a
trees.
tree in the wood. This one has a much wider trunk than its surrounding counterparts, and you believe, as a result of it being left somewhat ajar, that a large portion of the base of the outer bark of this tree is a door in some fashion. Nemea?
Sorry, I'm very distracted by the chat.
Yes.
Door in a tree?
So you see a very large tree. It has a door made out of its own bark, so it's sort of like a broken in. I'm gonna draw it.
Sorry.
I want to try and
no,
open
that's
the
no
door.
good. So the door is open. Let me just do... There we go. So it's like this. This is the base of the tree. And then, like
Another tree with a door in it.
this.
It's my
Oh,
expertise.
it wasn't a tree last time, was it? It was just like a... Ooh, that was the...
Ooh.
Why?
So the almost fiery type outer line, or I guess it's the inner line on this picture, is a slightly open pull door, and it makes up a door. You're able to pull it open and walk into this tree, essentially.
I go in.
Okay. So the rest of you see Nemea disappearing to the darkness of the interior of this tree.
I will
We'll
follow
go chase her.
straight away.
What is he doing?
Aresia and Vice is the only two that have not gone inside the tree. Are you quickly following?
I'm just going to look at Vice and not say anything, but just kind of wait to see what he says.
Vice?
I want to stay as far away as possible from the women. Because I feel like I'm being victimized here.
It's your fault.
I am going to walk with Taryn because he is by far the innocent one of the group.
So
I
Taryn
stick with
has
him?
already gone. So as you realise that you're left just you and Aresia, you quickly follow after Taryn and head inside the
Yes,
tree.
I quickly follow him. Yes.
Aresia, you're happy to do the same?
Yeah, I'll just have a quick look behind us to make sure there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing behind us, and then like be the last one in.
You don't see anything specific behind you. I'm gonna have to check a thing. One sec. Yeah.
I'm
no.
gonna, as I run in, I'm gonna have my shield like out and up,
Cool.
preparing.
I've
for
moved you all to a map.
defences.
Ooh.
If you are on Twitch, please turn Twitch off because it will royally fuck the next 2 sessions. If you can see the
Okay,
entirety of
not
this
on
map.
Twitch.
Touched it.
And I'm going to pull your tokens onto this map now. So, Nemea first, because Nemea went first. Oh, you have to do it like that for some weird reason. You're going to want to zoom in on the far right of the map. Sort of
Oh.
right middle.
Oh yeah.
I'll be zooming momentarily. After you was Taryn. No, it was Livia and Taryn. So we'll put Livia on the other side. We'll put
You're
Livia
doing that
here.
back in 2 seconds.
Go away. There we go. Aresia. And here's Vice.
Just behind me, just completely adamant that he's definitely 100% completely,
Straight.
not even slightly a pervert in any way, shape, or form, any fashion. No way.
I can't zoom this
whatsoever.
in a way that
100%
is-
definitely not.
I can't get this on stream. That is
You-
so
you
annoying.
You had to justify that very hard, Taryn.
It's not me
It's against
justifying it.
popular belief.
I think people should ask. I think the chat should answer this.
Don't ask
Watch
that.
this.
in
I think people
any
should
way.
answer. Because I
You
think
are
we should
aware
answer
one
their
of the chat
comments.
is your sister.
No, I mean, it's multiple people, and my sister wouldn't call me a pervert.
Siblings conspire.
So you hope.
They conspire.
Alright, I'm gonna zoom out. This is gonna be shit for the stream, but the stream can see the right. I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to do this to zoom in a way that works, but for now, we'll go with what we have.
Ahoy.
I kind of need Amy back for the next thing to happen. So, you guys head in,
We shall wait.
and
Well done.
rather than the interior of a tree, you find a corridor, a door on your right, and it's quite a long corridor that disappears into darkness. Let me uncover a little bit. Don't worry
Wait.
about moving your tokens for now. Here comes Aresia, so that's all good.
As we get in and see it, I want to just sort of place a hand lightly on Livia's shoulder and just be like, it's another fucky door.
Oh,
Also,
God.
by the way, Josh, is it meant to be? Oh no, never mind.
What?
Never mind.
Yes, it is meant to be black.
That was not what I was going to ask.
Lies.
How much you can see is intentional. How much I can fucking zoom in on isn't, unfortunately. I feel like I need a second tab of Roll20 so that I can, like, minimize it. I might have to do that. We'll see. So, as you all head in, you hear so
the
this
mayor got it in one, boy.
this voice kind of comes almost on the wind as there's like a flow of it feels more energy than like physical wind kind of pressing against you as it passes over you. The door closes behind you, and you hear a voice say, "Welcome, guests. I've been so hoping you'd join me. After all, I owe you so much."
Wait, what?
Who are you?
You shout out.
Hello?
Yes.
Cool.
Wait, hang on. Where is he on the map?
He's not on the
not,
map.
we can just hear
It,
him.
it also seemed to be, despite my version of it, a woman's voice, haggard and old, and the
Oh, no,
words
another hag.
the words
Haggard.
were, oh shit, don't cut, just copy please. I still need them. The words are these words.
Erase them.
How's my plan
will
going to
shout
create a
out.
second
I will shout out. Show yourself, hag.
fiend?
Charlatan, rogue.
Vice! Don't anger them.
I'm not trying to anger her. I'm just simply
Be
asking
kind.
for
Don't
whoever our host is to show themselves. That is purely what I'm doing here.
So,
Yeah.
Purely.
as this voice comes through your mind, you all begin to... Oh god, where is it? Is it this one? I feel like it's this one. It is that one. And I really need to fix the fact that I can't zoom in, but for now we're gonna zoom in. And the stream can't fucking see it. You all begin
Zoom in
to
for us to
shrink.
all the way. Come on.
Oh, tiny, tiny squares I see.
Oh my gosh. What happened?
What?
No.
It happens
What?
over a number of, like... It's only, like, say, 30 seconds in its entirety as you shrink down to this size. The problem I
So
have
we
is that I
shrink.
can't...
So we shrunk. So we need to speak, guys, in like.
I
We have to speak.
can't hide the
Nice, what the fuck?
chat if I pull up a different... Well, if you're speaking to each other, you
We
sound the
sound
same.
normal. Yeah, that's true.
Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. You're
Same.
right.
Had to zoom in so much. just
Yeah,
to
you'll
save
need to
my
zoom in a lot, and we're going to be staying zoomed in, which is really a problem for the stream.
Oh my god.
Oh no, Roll20 died.
Okay.
There we go.
That's
All
ideal.
right.
I don't know how to...
Shit.
Yes! It is done! Okay, cool. So, here we go, stream. The version of the stream that's... Oh, God. There we go. That is on the screen! Hooray! I now have several windows of Roll20 to fucking make this work.
Pardon you?
You beast.
No, I'm alright.
Absolute beast.
Well then.
You call me a beast!
Who burped? Who burped? Oh, was it you? I thought it was
It was her.
Alec. Well, yeah, you're a
Why would I
beast.
say
You're
pardon
absolute
you
beast.
if that was me?
Call me a beast! That's
Beast.
awful!
So, you have all shrunk to this size. Taryn, roll history.
Ooh.
Oh god!
Gonna
Wait.
zoom in even more. Does the ruler work? It does, good.
Please let me have a good
What
history.
the fuck are we gonna do?
I remembered all the dumb shit from the sessions.
We've already
okay.
covered the fact that you sound the same to each other.
I was like,
Yeah, but I
Taryn.
was talking to you, so.
This
Yeah,
is an
I mean-
artistic choice.
Yeah. Taryn, at this height, you resemble the same size as the bones you found.
mm.
Oh no, this is why the bones were so tiny.
We're gonna be turned to soup!
Oh no.
So guys, not to freak you out, but those bones. Wait,
What, these
are the
bones?
bones?
They're very
They
small now.
Not even
Everything about your person is shrunk.
It's just-
So normally
God.
these would be about this.
Like.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Whilst you are this size,
Talk normally, Livia.
whilst
I
you
can't
are
do
this
it.
size,
I
I'm just
can't.
gonna type it.
Whilst
That,
you're
ah,
this
you
size-
bastard! I can't type in the chat without switching back. That's so annoying. All right, well,
Just
in
speak,
that case,
just
we'll go
speak,
with the
Josh.
other
Come on.
option.
Just speak.
Yeah,
Stop
everyone,
talking.
everyone, shut up. There we go. Whilst you're this size, your health is 1/10 of your current health, and your damage output, regardless of whether or not it's a spell, is 1/10 of what it would normally be. So you don't have to change anything. If your health is currently 43, it is now 4.3. Just put a point in the middle.
Oh no.
Oh God, why?
Josh, what are you doing to us, man?
Oh, innit?
Can I then
mad.
have everyone who is not Nemea, because Nemea's facing the wrong way, roll perception for me, please?
Oh.
Oh,
I turned back to look at the group because I got shrunk.
Don't put your health down, because it fills an entire square.
I need it.
Well, just ask people.
Let me-
We'll go with that.
Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. What?
That's so tiny. Oh shit.
You need to take out the total number, otherwise it stays as 0. Now it just looks like you have no health.
What do you mean? What?
So well.
I'm talking about the mayor.
Oh,
I figured it
I
out.
was right. It's a nice tune, by the way.
Back to change. Cool, so where are those? 21, 10, 22, 13, Taran, and Vice. Taran, remove your fucking health. Not Taran, Vice, remove your fucking health.
don't come at me like that.
You guys see this.
I was
Come on,
strictly
fit a
tested.
thing. In the distance.
What do we see? Is that the mayor?
It's past the mayor.
Oh, the rat. Okay.
Hell!
The rat.
You
Okay.
thought I hurt her feelings.
Don't take that shit, Nemea. Don't take that shit.
Call me a rat.
Also,
Oh,
Nemea can't
didn't
see it.
Scroll down and notice the giant rat.
So,
He doesn't want to be called a womanizer, so now he's being a bully.
Taran and Vice, you see this rat in the distance. It's fucking huge as far as you're concerned. Probably pretty small in comparison to normal height. And it sees you. I can't
How far
fucking
is-
rotate it. You bastard rat. It begins to move towards you, and we'll have everyone roll initiative.
No.
I want to do something quick as I see it, if I can.
Yeah, you had a pretty high roll. What do you want to do?
I want to use the message spell,
Oh, that's,
Okay.
or
that's
cantrip
just, that's,
specifically, and just
that's-
say friend or foe.
So the rat.
Yes.
Okay. It works perfectly. The spell goes off. You say this into the mind of the rat. Nothing changes.
that's a 15 for me, by the way. It's not a +3.
Come on, robot. Do your music.
Oh,
a real
nat
robot.
20 on the fucking thing.
Ooh.
Right, I'm going to use the
Oh,
turn
but I
order
got-
over here, and I can't drag it off, so it has to be on stream, but that's fine because we're dealing with a
Come on.
part of the
Are
stream.
we
that
gonna
we're
get
covered to yet.
killed by a fucking rat?
Well,
we
it's
ain't gonna
tiny.
get killed by a rat, Taran. Come on.
TPK.
Taran's got
Gave a
like
rat.
tiny
I
amount
mean,
It's Josh. I don't think it happened.
Say that again, Amy?
I said we've only got a tiny amount of health now. So...
Yes. And you only deal a tiny amount of damage. But so do rats.
Yeah.
Nemea-
He's bigger
Don't
than
think
us.
Josh has thought this through.
Yeah, look, we're one
Yeah.
square.
He's going to do 2 damage and kill me.
he is but the size of 2 squares for us.
Tom Thumb. Ooh.
Of Tom Thumb.
Aresia is 23.
I know, but I didn't think that was going to come out your mouth. Like,
Nemea is 14. Livia is 5.
Tom
Vice is 16.
Thumb.
We are good.
Thumbelina, maybe. You want Thumbelina? No?
Tom Thumb.
Oh, it's in Q because of the skip.
Tom
because of the loop.
Thumb.
Much more distressing things have come out of your mouth today, Vice.
Say again.
Much more distressing things have come out of your mouth today.
What's come out? Been quite timid, to be fair.
Calling the mayor a rat for one.
I
You're a bit.
didn't see the rat.
Oh,
I thought we were fighting.
Oh, I need to roll for the rat. That means I need the rat stats.
The red stat.
I wanted to call it giant rat, but you can't use speech marks in a file name, so it wouldn't let me. Which is a
You
shame.
can't also
because-
call it a giant rat if it's a same size of a normal rat.
Well, that's
That's why
what the
he wanted
speech
to
marks
call it
were about.
giant
It's
rat.
giant in perspective to you guys, but it's a perfectly normal rat otherwise.
Should I make a second character sheet and just call it Tiny Tower?
Tiny Taran, bitch!
Oh, no. Tiny
Yeah, if only you had like all the wires and stapler fire things that Rick had. Okay,
It's gonna be
cool.
amazing. I'm so excited.
The rat's initiative is 18.
Oh my god, I've
Fuck
got
you,
mini lights
rat.
then.
So, the grid is accurate. It is Aresia's turn.
Let's tame him and then we can ride him.
As far as you're concerned,
tame
Aresia,
him?
the rat is 80 feet away
Who
from you.
can tame him, Livia? Who has the ability to tame anything?
I want to move 30 feet. And then, I forget how to move. How do I see the
Use the
Tame him.
snap
ruler
to
thing.
thing. It's like a circle with a ruler in it. Yeah.
so
Or you
yeah.
can move and then press X and it will tell you how far you moved.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh.
I mean, we've not fought beasts in our time.
I
So I
said
think you can come out with just tame
and-
him.
I want to.
Let me hear Amy's turn, people.
Sorry.
I want to take one of my ration packs, just one of them, and
Uh-huh.
throw it toward the rat and just
Okay.
see if he.
So
Just see if he gets it.
roll to hit. It's an improvised weapon, so just give me a d20 because I don't think you're proficient in any sort of improvised weapons.
Okay.
Okay, not bad. Where are you trying to throw the ration?
I want to throw it. If I click, will it? Oh, it doesn't show, does it?
If you hold down a left click, it will like emanate a rippling circle from that location.
Like this.
I want to throw it kind of just in front of it, but toward the side, so like this area.
Okay, let me see how far that is from you. I'm going to say 30 feet. We're going to do... I don't know if white's the right colour, but here we are. Oh, because we're so tiny, it is not in the position that I am drawing it at all. But I can move it. So you throw a ration pack over there.
Mhm.
It lands. You can all see that little white X, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. That's your action. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Cool. Taran, you are up. And Vice, you're next.
No one's gonna do my thing.
Tiny
I'm really
Taran.
upset.
What do you want?
Oh, it's a chat. We can all ride it around this place and get around so much quicker.
It's true. It's true. But we've
don't
never
have it
tried to charm anything before.
So?
Okay. Okay.
30.
So,
There we
don't,
go.
guys, don't attack it.
Do you want to use your reaction to shout that out, Vice?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Vice shouts out to all of you, don't attack it.
I don't even. I
Oh,
just sort
God.
of turn around, look at them, look back at the rat, and just shrug, and that'll be my turn. I'm gonna hold my action, shocking grasp. If it comes anywhere near me, I'm gonna zap it.
Okay, cool. So it is the rat's turn. The rat's gonna go. Well, the rat doesn't move in the same scale as you guys. So
I said you
this
hadn't
is
thought
5
through.
feet for the rat. Yeah, no, I have thought it through. The rat's 9 by 9. That wasn't intentional, but we're working with it. So the rat comes here. The rat comes over to here, sniffs about at what it considers a fucking speck of food, licks it
Yeah.
as like, I'm going to say a free action, and then comes towards the mayor, which looks like a much more, well, a slightly heartier meal. I can't rotate the rat, which is also not ideal for me, but we're working with it. So here's... Oh, God. Now I've got the rat's stats. Right. So that's 5 more.
If we kill it,
Such a
I
mess.
can then speak with the dead,
There.
and then I can bring it back.
What's the range of shock and grasp? It's touch, right?
Yeah, 5 feet.
Okay, cool. So it's going to try and attack Nemea, and it's literally just trying to eat her in one because you're like a beetle to this thing.
Oh my god, no!
Let's have a look at its things.
Just
Ooh! Keep in mind that I'm using fucking base stats. Like, this is a challenge rating 1/8, and it still rolled a 23 to hit you. So,
Fuck.
you suffer 2 damage as the rat bites you, Nemea.
Oh god.
Staggering.
I have 1 HP.
Round your points up. So if you're 35,
Okay, maybe attack
round that
it.
up to 4 HP. If you were 35, round up to 4. So in all of your divisions of 10, round them all up where possible.
So what, if I'm 4.8, I'm 5.
You're 5, yes. So that is the rat's turn.
How does this work for
like
my
it-
healing?
Your healing will remain the same, it's just a 10th. Everything's a 10th.
Oh,
Your damage output, your healing output, it's 1/10. That's the rat's turn. It's tried to eat Nemea. Vice, you are up. Nemea, you are next.
Okay.
What is this?
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move here. Like,
I feel like Tiny Fight is going well. I'm quite happy with it as a premise.
Fuck.
I'm gonna move here. I'm also gonna inspire. I'm gonna inspire the mayor.
Okay. Nemea,
Okay.
can you write on your own character sheet somewhere that you have inspiration? Because if I put the fist on you, it fills your entire square.
Fuck.
Is that a D4?
It's a D6? Is it a D8, Vice?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, right?
It's a D8. It is a
D8.
D8. Yes.
On everything except that one thing that we always forget.
On everything but attack
Oh.
damage.
Okay.
But attack damage.
Say that again,
Did you
Aresia?
Sorry, did Vice actually shout to everyone, "Don't attack it"?
At the start he did, yes. It then tried to eat Nemea since then. It also ate this crumb.
Okay.
Because, because I need to prove myself.
Hold on. I need them to shut up to be able to hear you. Say that again, Aresia?
Did the ration get eaten, or is it still there?
Yes, but in comparison to the rat, it was the size of about a breadcrumb. So it just licked it as a quick action and then carried on trying. It licked it and consumed the entire ration pack and then
Okay.
went for Nemea.
Fair enough. I'm going to turn to Vice then, as after things attacked the mayor, and said, "What do you want us to do?"
Can I respond?
It's your turn, so you've got your reaction back. If you want to spend your reaction responding, go for it.
Too sore.
Just give me a second. That's what my response is gonna be.
Okay, cool. It is your turn, Vice. You've moved 30 feet.
I have moved 30 feet.
Uh-huh.
I cannot do anything more.
You mean
Can't
3
you?
feet?
You
I
haven't
gave
used your...
Nemea-
Yeah, it is about...
I gave the mayor.
You gave her inspiration. That's a bonus. You haven't used
my
your action.
inspiration.
The rat is 15 feet away from you.
Yeah, I need to be within touching distance.
Then yes, you are
I will
out of
do.
things. So is that the end of your turn, yeah? I love Tiny
Oh
Campaign.
wait, hang on a
This is
minute.
great.
Wait, whoa. Whoa.
Nobody's carried on. We're still waiting for you.
Like,
Now you're just singing.
this says
30 feet.
30 feet.
Yeah, that's
Right,
why I asked
okay.
you several times over. The rat is
My
15 feet
apologies,
away.
because all this time, since I acquired suggestion, I thought I had to touch them.
No. Remember earlier when I was like, hey guys, read your shit? This is one of those things.
I feel like anytime he's going to use it now, he's going to do the Miles thing from Spider-Verse. Just, hey.
It was just an excuse for the Vice to touch things.
Right, okay.
Here we go.
Right, so I'm going to suggest to this rat.
Mhm. Yep. I feel like maybe read your spell, but it's fine.
Say again.
It's too late,
Read the
carry on.
spell.
No, wait.
He's committed to it, carry on.
No, wait.
I don't care what you read now, you are casting this spell.
You can't
I'm
say,
sure-
I feel like you should read your spell, but carry
I'm
on.
sure
I
that
also
can do it to a
announced
creature.
it
Yeah, a
before.
creature.
You totally can do it to a creature, Vice. Carry on.
Right. I would like to suggest to this rat. Wait, hang on. Wait a minute, I just realized.
What do you
something.
suggest to the rat?
What did you realise, Spice?
Oh, we'll get there, Aresia, don't worry.
What am I missing?
What did you realise, Vice?
Vice, what do you suggest to the rat?
I can't speak rat.
That's an odd thing to suggest, but is that what you're doing?
I mean, no, but it says wait.
I'm about to skip your turn if you don't
no, it doesn't,
tell me.
No, wait. It doesn't say that they have to understand you, right?
I feel like
Influence
it,
a creature that
Oh, no,
you
it
see
does.
within
It
range that
really
can hear
does.
and
It really
understand
does.
you.
I feel like it definitely
really
states
does.
that.
Okay, then I will.
Point. Just point and like throw something over there and.
I will.
Talk to it.
I will attack it.
From 15 feet away.
I will attack it with my bow.
Okay, great. You switch
Okay.
weapons.
Don't attack it! Just give me a second!
Yeah, so it's a good point. What everyone else sees is Vice run up, having shout, "Don't attack it!" Aresia go, "What the fuck do you expect us to do?" And then Vice be like, "Just give me a second!" And then he points at the rat and goes, and just fires a fucking arrow at it.
I'd be like, turn to Olivia and be like, is he trying to prove something?
This is it. This is where we die.
You have disadvantage on the attack, Vice, as a result of how long you've spent lining up. This is the quickest shot. No,
that
there are
doesn't count.
repercussions
No, it
to
doesn't-
spending an hour on your turn.
It doesn't work like that.
Roll
It
with
doesn't work like that.
disadvantage.
Come on, man. Yeah, come on.
Oh shit!
Man.
Ah, fuck! I forgot about the other. I can't click the chat. There we go.
That is not.
Oh.
That is not.
That is not what I
You'll be
wanted
fine
to
if
do.
you go with that.
They say you burn calories if you laugh, but like if I haven't lost a pound by tomorrow, I'll be pissed. Oh wait, it doesn't say that. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, it totally does.
Give me-
It
give me
literally
another
says it
roll.
has to
Come on.
understand you.
Huh?
Give me
You want
another roll.
one?
That's fine. The disadvantage misses. I'm gonna let it go through. So you managed to wing this thing with an arrow. Roll your damage. God, the music is so epic for a tiny fight.
I just love the drama of don't attack it. We're all like, what is wrong with you, you moron?
I feel like Nemea loses her inspiration as a result of no longer trusting Vice as like a competent ally.
I have no faith in him anymore.
I need pen and paper.
Literally the first sentence is to say something to a creature that can hear and understand you. And you're like, but it doesn't say that. Oh, no, wait, it does. Wait a minute! No, wait, no.
Oh god.
Okay, so rounded up, you deal 1 damage. With your arrow that just wings this creature. It doesn't seem to care. It's looking a little rabid, if anything. But you've kind of got its attention. Nemea, it is your turn. Please, in the keeping with the session, take 1/10 of the time that Max did on your turn.
Hey, come on, man.
Shocking
Come
grass
on.
because I need to run.
Oh, it was great.
I can't. That attack of could literally.
Okay, cool.
So, shocking grass.
Give me shocking grasp. I think it's a roll to hit, right?
Yeah.
This music
The
is
dice
so
we
epic.
rolled.
I love the epic music for such a
20.
ridiculous. Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
What's the attack? for-
It's a cantrip, right? So it's 2d8?
Is that it flat?
I've got it up right now.
Okay, so that is...
One.
Oh, I've clicked off the fucking thing that the stream need again. I need to
One
stop clicking
damage.
the chat. Yeah, so that's 1 damage.
One damage.
Cool. But he no longer has reactions. The rat, being 9 times bigger than you guys, or about 10 times, can have thingies. So he's going to have a this for no reactions. You move away. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I yell. We need to move. We need to get out of here. We need to get out that door.
The door,
God.
you now see, Nemea, is closed.
And
And
then
we
there
haven't
were
reached the
holes?
handle.
It was made of like jelly.
It was made of like tree, but you can see that along with the voice, there was a sort of like creaky slam noise, and the door, as you've now turned around, is visibly closed. Livia, it's your turn. And Aresia, you're next.
I don't even know. Oh,
Max,
my
I take
God.
the piss, but I did love your turn. It was great. I wish you'd followed through and suggested the rat personally.
No, because nothing would have happened.
I know, but it would have been great.
Especially since it has to be verbal,
God.
right? Doesn't it?
It's verbal,
you
yeah.
just speak in
I-
random bollocks to it.
I'm going to
Everyone would have
create
heard all of it.
a tiny spiritual weapon.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Fucking bullshit with the roll 20s. Sorry, stream. You're gonna have to bear with me whilst I pull a tiny spiritual blade onto the map. Oh, sweet! It's already defaulted at the size of the thing. Livia, feel free to pull that where you need it.
Oh, I've got to zoom in more than I thought.
Well, I can put it where you want.
What is this?
Oh no! What have I done? Oh, I've drawn on myself.
Mildly drawn
Shit.
on yourself.
That was unintentional.
There you go. I deleted it.
60 feet, so you can go next to the rat. Here.
Do you think volume equals distance? Where are you put it? Here. There you
Yeah.
go. It's on him.
Find a hole. Is that voice?
That was the mayor.
Okay.
She wants a hole in the door.
Finding any
I
hole.
see.
That car.
Listen, if it was about Vice find the hole, I would have,
No,
never
that's enough. No,
mind.
none of that.
Never
No,
mind.
La la la.
no.
We've been
Never
taken off
mind.
air.
Go, how dare you?
Never mind.
D20 plus 8. This is to hit with the spiritual weapon. 26. No, yeah.
Yes, that'll certainly hit.
Roll D 8 plus 5, I think.
Uh-huh. Can anyone
Well,
make
not
it to
70.
20 to deal 2 damage?
Oh, Rhoda. She is funny.
8.
8, nice, rounds up to
0.8
1.
damage.
So the spinning Sunblade, Lunari's inverted version of the Sunblade, whatever it is, spins around and burns through the rat's front left paw. And it seems to just be confused as to who to eat next, really. Nemea's run away and it's a bit upset about that. It sees the spinning blade nearby and is possibly going to try to avoid that.
I'm going to run
Are
forwards.
you sure that was the distance you can run? That looked like quite a distance. Oh, but you're 35 feet, aren't you?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Carry on.
And I'm going to thwack it with my Lunari dual blade.
Okay. Roll to
Well,
hit.
I'm not. I'm probably going to miss because I only ever hit with my spiritual weapon, in case you hadn't noticed.
This guy's pretty big. Shouldn't be that difficult. to hit.
21.
Hey.
That'll hit. Go away, bug.
Damage.
go away.
Please get the damage. I really wish I was a rogue.
The rat's slowing down a little bit. You can see it's bleeding from a few places. It's been like winged with the bolt.
13 damage.
Nice. Still only 1. Is that your whole turn, Livia?
Yeah, and then as I'm really close, I noticed quite how large he is.
Yeah. Aresia, you are
Yeah.
up.
Raise my shield a little
Okay,
higher.
a quick
Cool.
question before I take my turn.
Uh-huh.
Just looking at the map, this thing and whatever this is down here, what are they?
What thing? Sorry, ping them again. So this is a large side table,
Okay.
Which
and-
is 400 feet in the air now.
and this is some sort of sack.
Oh, okay. Okay. I am going to
music.
move.
I feel like we should be fighting a god.
This is the biggest thing you've ever fought.
This
Fuck off.
this is Lunari.
Yeah, I'm going to get behind the rat. Move behind the rat. And I want to attempt
Put the Chocobo
to.
song on.
I want to attempt to jump on its back and
Okay.
try and blind it.
Okay. Cool. Give me acrobatics or athletics to try and climb the beast.
I'll give you athletic.
Tell me what you roll, because I desperately need to be.
Oh shit, a 9. And that one, plus my modifier, gives me a 9.
Okay, cool. So as you begin to try and climb it, it sort of whips you with its tail, just like instinctively, as though something sort of tickled its tail. It whips you away and kind of throws you 10 feet. I'll move your token in a moment. Can you roll me a d6, please?
3.
Okay, so you take 1 damage as you are flung away about 10 of your feet away from the rat. And unfortunately, that consumes your action to try and climb it and do that. As is the result of a failure to such a degree.
Okay.
Would you want to do anything as a bonus or any sort of movement thing? I think you've used a lot of movement trying to climb him / In fact, I'd say you probably don't have any movement, but you do have your bonus action, I believe.
Can I just whack it? Am I near it?
No, because he's flung you 10 feet off.
No. I'll use my reaction and say,
Taryn's next.
actually, no, don't worry, I won't do it.
Okay.
Karen.
Taryn, you are up.
I'm just gonna. I'm just in awe of all of this, so I'm kind of lost. Do I really want to waste this shit?
Yes.
I mean, the rat will kill you pretty quickly.
Fuck it, I'm gonna run. What was that 5, 10, 15? Is that next to it, or is it square next to me?
No, you're next to it. It's 3 by 3.
And I'm a shocking grasp.
Okay, roll to hit. That'll hit.
2D. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I realised I had advantage with that. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
You can roll it out to see if you get the nat 20.
True.
I mean, it was on your next use anyway. You can't bank it, really, so...
Yeah. Nah.
You hit more.
2D.
Okay, so
1.
1 damage.
But it cannot take reactions, so
Still.
I'm going to move the 13.
Is that till the end of its turn or the start of its turn?
Until
matter, I
the
don't
start of its next turn.
Okay, cool. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, it is.
It is. Then the rat's turn. It can now take reactions. It's going to try and eat Livia, because Livia's closest.
Solid choice.
Yeah, that's not great. That is a 17. I don't think that hits, does it? No. Let me check if he has any sort of extra attack. He does not.
Nah.
So he's going to go... I mean, he's pretty stupid, so yeah, he's probably just going to go over here. Attack of opportunity from the blade.
This is the most epic rat fight I've ever participated in.
16!
16, that'll hit. So roll damage on that.
I thought the Dark Souls rats were bad.
9!
So 1. I think this pen's dying, and it's a shame, because I like this pen. Oh well. Cool, so he takes 1 damage. It looks as though he's possibly fleeing at this point as he tries to run past you, Livia. Vice, you are up.
I want to mount the rat.
Okay, it's kind of been tried once already, but we'll go with it. Give me...
No, I want to mount the rat.
Yes, that's fine. You can certainly try. So that's 5, 10, 15 feet to get close enough to start with. I then need an athletics or acrobatics check, please.
Yes, sir. Whatever you want.
Oh, this pen's fucked. Sucks.
What one is it?
This one.
Your-
Your quill.
Give me
That
a
one,
new,
quill.
yeah.
Give me a new
Oh,
one
that's
of
right.
these.
Oh,
I got
you
that
can
from
get one
Hampton
of those.
Court.
Oh, did you?
Mm.
I like this pen.
Ah, come on, man. Why?
So
Are
you
fucking with this?
you half climb up, you fall back down again, but it hasn't wasted your action. It has used your bonus action. Wasn't the nat
That's
one?
not fair. He gets the same number as me and doesn't get damaged.
You nat one.
Just. Plus my modifier.
It doesn't matter.
It
and that
doesn't
one's a
matter.
fail.
If you nat one, it's an instant fail.
If possible, can I check to see if the rat is more interested in us, or if it's just sort of doing its animal thing?
You could on your turn.
Okay.
I want to clockwork
Saber.
Saber
Roll to
in
hit.
his freaking head.
Okay,
Yeah?
cool. You're in that
Nice.
sort of range, that sort of distance. Roll to hit. That'll hit. Roll damage. Remember, you got to get to 20 damage if you want to deal 2 damage. Actually, 15 would do
I won't
because of
get
the roundup.
11.
11, so that is 1 damage. Fortunately, as a result of the consistent damage that the rat has dealt so far, it's got all sorts of cuts over it. Aresia's kind of bashed him up a little bit, pulled out some fur from the back when he tail whipped her away. All of the cuts from the blades, the Lunari's dual blade and whatnot, and your arrow earlier. The rat, as you jam your clockwork saber, aiming for the head, you kind of catch the neck instead. You pull the mechanism, and it like cuts something jaggedy. It's a little bit sickening as you feel the blade expel itself from the rat, and there's just a kind of pool of blood out the side of it as it dies in front of you. You guys are no longer in combat. You've killed a rat. I hope you feel good about yourselves.
God.
I
I
feel
was so
bad.
I really don't.
Oh,
Guys, you should cut that up.
That rat came to us first, yeah.
Yeah, you should cut that up. That's enough rat meat for like a year.
I'm good.
Just a bit sort of
I'll eat
bewildered
rat
by-
stew.
Just sort of a bit bewildered by this whole situation. I just want to turn around and have a look further down this corridor.
Okay. Nemea, as you look at the door, you can't see any visible hole. It doesn't look as though you're getting out.
Love.
Oh shit, that's not what I want. This is what I want. Is this working?
So I can't like push on it.
You certainly can. It does not move at all. You are absolutely tiny in comparison to the size of this door. I will say that it seems to be a bit of a way through, and you start to see a little bit of this. Let me zoom out a little bit.
Ooh, wait, guys.
But this is a door. So that's kind of what you can see. I'm going to close the turn order here. So yeah, if you want to move your tokens about to see what you can see, I'm happy for you to do so. If you want to get to anything...
Can I see any mushrooms or bottles that say drink me or eat me?
Unfortunately not, I'm afraid.
you think this is?
I want to peek
Ding there,
straight
down.
around this corner.
So sure of it. I'd heard a
any
strange tale.
cookies? Are there any cookies?
Cookies.
You know, that say eat
Tiny
meat?
or large, I'm fine.
3 guesses what I want to do.
Climb the thing.
I want to
I wanna
climb the
look through this.
sideboard.
So
Of course you wanna
the
climb.
sideboard stands...
Look at it.
The sideboard stands at about 2.5 feet tall, I would say. So it's about half your height.
And we're the size of thumbs, right?
If you're a tenth of that, I don't know what the distance. I'm trying to work it out.
That's about 2 inches.
It'd be about half. It would be about 7 or 8 inches.
You what? Oh,
Your
You're a
height.
tenth.
If you're a tenth, yeah. If you're a tenth, you're about 7 or 8 inches.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then let's use that. How many inches? How many inches in 2.5 feet?
This is too much maths for me.
30.
Fucked it up
So
earlier.
it is. What's 30 divided by 7?
4 point.
So it's 4 times your height.
Yeah. I climbed that tree.
Yeah. So I'll need 3 athletics or acrobatics checks from you to climb this thing. We're doing it sort of in 10 feet-ish increments to the best of my ability currently. All good. So after a decent while, the rest of them sort of looking around, you manage to make your way to the top of this. Like the selecting things is so off. Here we go. There we go. You are on top of the table.
Yay.
So you see what seems to be like a shell of a nut, which is here. Or a bunch of shells of nuts, given how much space that's filling up on the dresser. And then you see 3 gold coins in the distance.
Oh. Okay, so in the shell of the nut, there's no nut. It's just
The nut.
empty.
This is the discarded outer remains of several nuts.
Ah. And oh god, how big would a gold coin be to me? It'd be like
Yeah, it's pretty big. Like
not carrying
if
that.
a pound's like that big, you're about that big. So if you laid on top of it, you would be slightly bigger than it.
Okay. If I turn 180 degrees, I'm still on the ledge.
Uh-huh.
Can I see in that sack from where I am?
Just about. It looks empty-ish, but it kind of bends off into a darkness that you can't really see into.
I'll just jump down and go double check it.
I don't think you're going to want to jump down.
Well, get down.
Okay, give me 3 dex saves.
You take 27 damage, insta-kill.
Oh, don't say that.
Literally 8 damage.
Oh
would kill
no!
us.
And I've used my
Yep.
favorite
And
strike.
you fall
Okay.
from the start, so that is 6, 11, 14, half to 7. You take 1 damage as you fall
Good.
from the top of this thing. It's comparative to you, size-wise. That's how much... I mean, I
That
guess,
is-
realistically, you'd have taken fall damage anyway. But you're a tiny person, so you weigh less. And as a result, it is also a tenth of the damage. It's like a spider falling. They don't necessarily die falling from your hand.
They're fine.
Cool. So, you are now down here. Roll investigation for me, and I'll have you check out the sack. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm just trying to look through. Is it like
Oh,
a sort of doorway thing?
Yeah, so this is a sort of throughway.
Okay.
It seems to be empty from what you can tell, Aresia. Let me just open up the next
I'm looking at this one.
room. I'm just going to give you the whole room, for argument's sake. There you go. But this section up here...
Jeez.
There you go.
Yes, jeez.
So, to describe it briefly, there are sort of 2 breaks, like here and here. Those are just throughways. You can walk through there. No issue. No door. You see a large table in the center of the room with a number of stools and chairs around it. Taryn, you can specifically see that there's a chair right here, sort of half blocking the way. If you weren't tiny, you can get past it very easily at this height. At this distance, I'd say you can't massively see what's on the center of the table, but it looks to be some coins, some bread. There's something here, right on the corner of the table. You can't make out what it is, but there's definitely something there that you don't recognize.
I'm going to shout it to the rest of them. I'm going to investigate, and I'm going to
Me too.
make a little run down
Okay.
here.
Vice and Aresia, you guys haven't... sorry, Vice and Livia, you guys haven't moved much. Are you doing anything?
Oh god, 1 minute.
I would like to move closer
follow.
to inside the room, please.
Okay. So, Nemea, given your current position, why don't you give me a perception check, please?
And my next intention is to climb up this chair onto the table.
Okay.
20.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you can see what is the biggest giant ring with a greenish gem in it that you have ever seen. It is huge. It looks like you could wear it as a
Where is
belt
it?
and still have plenty of space. It is... Bump, ba-dum, bump, bump. Here.
Ah. I will move over there.
Taryn, do you want to give me athletics or acrobatics, please?
The acrobatics. Yeah.
I'll yell, Taryn, if you come over here, I can help push you up.
Aresia, you're free to rejoin the group at this point if you want to.
The chair's much higher. I'll just do this. Yikes.
So you start trying to
Yikes.
sort of climb the leg a little bit and just like slip down it. You're not the strongest of people, and you're unable to get up it. There's no real footing here.
Then I'll circle around over towards Nemea.
Cool. Livia, Vice, Aresia, are you guys doing anything?
I am watching what the others are doing.
Yeah, I'm just observing.
Oressia, what is it you want to do?
I want to be my normal size again.
Well,
But-
I mean,
and
obviously,
yeah, I'm not- Then I don't know. We'll just have to investigate and figure out why we're small and how to undo it. Unless you have any better ideas.
I
rat
do
catcher.
not. I do not. I wonder why I asked. I would you like to investigate this area with me, Oressia, Lieutenant?
With you. Well, I guess we have no other choice. So let's.
I mean, if we're trying to find an alternative. Oh my God! Why does everything I say sound perverted?
I'm learning about you.
I mean, I'm just.
I mean,
trying
you
to-
said that. No,
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to, it's.
I'm
gotta
not doing any more climbing for a while. I've tried too many times. I've been bruised too many times. So.
Oh, okay. Would you mind giving me a lift or a boost up, then, please?
Okay, where do you want me?
Up here, where I am over here.
Oh, can't even see you down there. So small. Cool. Give you a leg up.
So,
It'll be forward.
Vice, give me acrobatics or athletics with advantage, and Taran, do the same as the mayor helps you try and climb the table.
Can I see if I can see
Should I
any
roll?
tiny things?
Yeah, sure. Roll investigation.
As in evidence of other people being tiny
Mhm.
and leaving tiny things.
Yay.
Investigation.
19.
Yes, investigation, please. Okay, Vice. So you are successful in climbing kind of halfway up this bookshelf.
Well,
It's predominantly empty, and there's like, the small bits of dust are enough to like coat yourself in. If you rolled over, you'd be like wrapped.
okay. Can I can't do anything else, or?
I'll come back to you in a sec. Taran and the mayor, you guys are still just trying to climb things at this point. It's taking quite a decent amount of time. Livia, are you looking for anything specific as you look for tiny things?
Just tiny evidence of tiny people.
Oh, right. Yes, sorry.
Like tiny shoes, tiny food, tiny rations.
So there's no
tiny
other...
rings.
Tiny rig? There's no other...
Why are you laughing?
Tiny wig.
Like tiny food, tiny rations, tiny footprints.
There's
Like, you
no...
have got evidence of other tiny people.
There's no evidence of these things, as though there's like a tiny village living here. You haven't happened across like the borrowers' home.
Well, it's the
homeland.
borrowers, but
Yeah. Or whatever I just called them. Did I say the borrowers? I think I said something else.
that's what they're
Uh,
called.
Yeah, I know, but I
Well,
tried to say borrowers. I
half
think I
enough
said something else. I'm not sure.
You have
Um,
tiny bones in a jar.
If there
It's like,
was...
let's forget about everything else in the room. Let's look for evidence of tiny people.
You
Well,
can
if we
see...
find evidence of tiny people, maybe there are other people here too. that
You
are
can
stuck
see for
in
sure
this tiny world.
4 other tiny people. But outside of those people, it doesn't seem as though the previous tiny
It's a
people...
stupid idea, and
No,
I don't
it's
think
not.
it was.
It's not.
It's
Just everyone's
not. It's
reaction to it.
hilarious. This is hilarious.
There's no other evidence that tiny people have been here outside
No
of the
tiny
fact...
glass sippers.
No, they're not being... If they have been here, they're not being catered to very well, to put it simply.
No tiny pumpkins.
Right. There's no like ramp or anything like that. I don't know, I'm trying to think of a modern day equivalent. They're
Oh, swear down.
They're not being
You crack
adult.
me up, man. You crack me up.
I've come up with some great ideas. We should have tamed the rat, and we'd have had a mount to get around this fucking place.
I mean,
that rat would have climbed the chair easily. Vice,
Easily.
Vice,
For
what
real,
else were
but-
you looking for?
Well, I wanted to bring some of my, I'm assuming it's no longer 30 foot. I'm gonna assume it's like, I don't know, like 30 centimeters worth of rope.
Yeah, it's 30 foot in comparison to you.
Yeah, so I want to bring Oressia up with me if possible.
Okay,
Oh,
Help.
So-
Go ahead.
if it's a 10, right?
it's a
Say it.
tenth.
Yeah, so it'd be a 5-foot rope.
I don't think a tenth of 30 is 30 feet is 5
I thought we
feet.
all had 50 feet rope.
Oh,
No,
they
30
have had 50 feet.
Hasn't
rope.
yours been chopped up before, Vice?
No.
I swear you've used some of it.
I mean, no.
What have you got written down?
Oh,
50
no,
feet
no.
hempen rope or 30 feet hempen rope?
I've got. Hang on. Wait.
I've got 30.
I've got
I've got 50, 100%.
I'll go 50 feet.
50 feet. Okay, then in this case, it would be a 5-foot rope, as Amy Arestia says.
Maybe you're right.
Is that enough? Is that enough for
Aim
Arestia to get to Arestia? I'm assuming it would be, right?
Well, it's
No.
5
No,
actual
I mean-
feet, right?
It's 5 foot, right? Of
Yeah,
rope.
it's 5 actual feet of rope. So, are you 5 feet up from the ground? Yeah.
We've said feet too much and it's upsetting me.
Yeah, this is enough rope to
not
allow
like
Arestia
feet.
to climb up it.
All it is.
Who
It's
the
just not
fuck
5
likes
feet.
feet?
I'm 5 foot in reality, so
Yeah.
Robin.
that's a lot.
So is that,
an
is
okay
that,
amount
is that
of rope.
enough? Is that enough?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right. I'd
like, I'm
to-
saying easily
I'd
it's
like
enough.
to-
You're not 5
I'd
feet
like
high
to,
on this bookshelf.
Okay. I'd like to extend 5 foot of my rope.
Okay.
To,
A number of feet wrap around on the floor because the rope's long enough to reach.
Okay, cool. Thank you. 5 foot. Thank you. Taryn. Yep. Do I need to do anything? Do I need to?
Arestia needs to roll an athletics check.
Is this a copy pasta now?
Okay, so Arestia climbs up to you happily enough.
You know, I'm not gonna play next week. You know what? I'm not gonna play next week. Fuck you guys.
Oh my god.
No, it doesn't say anywhere that you have to understand. Yeah, no, don't worry about it.
Is there anything else you guys want to do in this room?
I'm not wearing the advice now.
I specifically want to turn around to Nemea and then be like, wait, you have that spell. Zoop up there.
Well, in this period of time, the two of you have successfully climbed onto the table, because
There we go.
whilst it was taking you time, it didn't take a year. Arestia, your next device, halfway up a bookshelf.
Okay.
Livia, you're still on the ground. I'm not sure
Gonna
what
grab
you
my
two.
rope, Arestia.
Halfway.
You're about halfway up the bookcase. Yeah, it's like a full height bookshelf.
Both of us are halfway.
You are halfway up what is normally a roughly full height-ish bookcase.
Oh. Okay, so
Yeah, on a
me and Vice
shelf.
are together on a middle shelf. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're on a sort of middle shelf.
Okay. Can we see anything on that shelf?
You can see the top of the table, which has bread, gold coins, and a giant ring with a green gem in it, which Taryn and Nemea are next to. Taryn and Nemea, what are you guys doing with the ring?
I want to put the base of my finger onto the ring.
Okay, cool.
See if anything happens.
That won't work.
Nothing happens.
We're too tiny.
Are you trying to put it on?
Essentially,
Nothing happens.
yeah.
I stand inside it.
I like the idea, though. Nemea, it shrinks to your size as like a collar just slightly too small for your neck and chokes you to death. No, nothing happens as you stand within the ring that you've had to sort of clamber over, and it like wobbles slightly.
I was thinking Lord of the Rings style, like it might shrink.
Yeah, no, it was a good idea. I liked it.
I want to have a look around what's on the rest of the table.
It's golden food, golden bread. This piece here is a bit of cheese.
So just food and gold.
Yeah, it's food and gold, but like normal-ish food. I would say that all of it's rotted. All of the bread and cheese is like moldy and gross.
So it doesn't look like anyone's really inhabited the place.
Or they like moldy and gross.
That's even more distressing.
Your choice.
Yeah, I'll just get down and be like, you can
Okay.
take the ring if you want, but like, I don't know.
I don't know that you can take the ring. You could
Drag
certainly
it.
you could try and drag it. It's pretty heavy in comparison to your height.
Are there any inscriptions on the ring or anything? Can I like look at it in depth?
You can roll Arcana.
We all put our fingers in the ring, it shrinks and just clasps us all together
Like
for
binds
eternity.
your hands.
It's like that Chinese.
Ooh,
thing.
nice.
Nat
Nemea, despite its size, you can tell that this is definitely a magic item in some fashion. On a nat 20, you think based on the color of the gem that it is imbued with the ability to resist poison in some fashion if you were able to adorn it naturally rather than wear it as some sort of unrealistically giant hula hoop.
I have a theory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They like to eat the moldy food, and she wears the poison-resistant ring so she doesn't get sick from eating the moldy food.
Good idea.
Perhaps. Or am
And
I?
why is she not wearing it now?
Because she's not sad eating the moldy food, is she?
It's a fair point.
Yeah, man. Come on.
I just want to shout from the table, just, hello?
I'm going to say at this distance, like, barely even Aresia and Vice can hear you. Livia just about hears you shout this. But no, there's no response to you shouting hello into the void that is this ginormous room. God, the music
I'm
has
just
been
gonna
so
get down from the
unbalanced.
table.
Okay, cool. So as the two of you spend a decent portion of time climbing back down, Aresia and Vice, is there anything else you guys want to do?
Yeah, I want to just turn to Vice and say, listen, now that we're alone, I have something I wish to give you. And I'm going to reach into my
It's also a
pouch.
ring of poison resistance.
I'm going to give him the egg, that egg fillet.
Oh, okay.
What? Okay.
The chicken laid this before we left.
Thank you. And
Egg.
I take it from her very awkwardly and look at her. I'm like,
There's
I'm
no,
just staring at deadpan.
there's no symbolism here.
it's a very odd time to give that to me, Lieutenant. I mean, sure. I'll take that from you.
Listen, you're the one carrying the food. Why would you not carry the egg? You've
I
seen how many
mean,
times I've fallen
I-
today. I can get crap if I keep it.
You're right.
Unlike the egg, it seems Vice is in fact broken.
It just seems very odd.
It kind of is. Sometimes people are odd.
You don't want to keep it, give it back.
No. I will keep this egg.
Right, we're halfway up this bookshelf. What are we doing now?
I mean, I didn't expect you to give me an egg when I brought you up here, Lieutenant. I thought we'd use this time. Would
you like an egg in these trying times?
Lieutenant. I don't know if there's anything. Sorry, where I'm marking on the map? Is this here the same level where we are?
It's a separate detached shelf. Half
No,
the
but
height.
is it the same level or?
No. Oh, yes, it is the same level that you are currently because you're halfway up the bookshelf. But it's
Okay.
like you'd have to 5-foot jump through a wooden panel.
I see. Is it worth us, Lieutenant, trying to move across to the other side here?
I mean, we need to see what's over there. We need to investigate everything. Are you able to jump that far?
I would.
It's not a ring of jumping.
I like how you did that. There's a possibility, but surely we should just check what we have around us as well first. So
There's nothing on the shelf you're on.
Oh, there's nothing on the. Okay, that's fine. Well, then I shall try and jump.
Okay, cool. So, your jump distance, I think we agreed earlier, was something like just your flat strength number.
It was 24 feet.
Yeah, so it's 24 feet.
Provided I have a 10-foot run up.
Yeah, so you've easily got a 10-foot run up. Your issue is that oh god, go away, turn order. Here we go. Oh, I'm already on it. So this is approximately 24 feet. So you can easily make the gap. The problem is that this right here is the wooden wall of the bookshelf.
Okay, well, can I not just go on?
Right, how thick is the wood, Josh? Could I hack at it with wood? Like, could I cut my way like
You
a
could. I would say it's like that size normally, so about the width of you. So it's probably about that size. Like the width of you is how thick
Right.
the wood is. So yes, you could hack through that, but I suspect you're going to blunt your swords a lot. Given that you have the rope, for the sake of expediency...
No, it's fine. It doesn't matter if I blunt my swords, because I got the pouch.
Okay, yeah, you could use swords from the pouch.
I can get an axe,
Yeah,
right?
great idea. You can get an axe.
Fantastic idea.
Great use of the
I'm gonna
pouch.
desecrate someone's bookshelf. They'll come back like, what the hell happened?
So, the rest of you here eventually hear a sort of quiet, like, as Aresia is, she originally, you see this, Vice, nobody else sees this at this distance, reaches into her pouch that sits happily on her waist and pulls a two-handed axe from it, making sure to hold on with this hand, holds it with the other hand, and just begins chopping into the wood. I'm going to say it would take about 10 to 20 minutes to cut a hole big enough that you could jump through this wood. So we'll assume this is going on whilst everyone else is sort of inspecting the room. I've already cleared some of the corridor north of this room because you can see the rest of it is wall. I'm assuming you're going to not try and, like, cut through the wall. So for everyone else, you are slowly discovering the corridor that leads to a doorway. For Aresia and Vice, you are cutting a hole big enough for Vice to sort of dive through with his ring of jumping. And after a successful ring of jumping jump, I need a dex save from you, Vice. Where, given your ring of jumping, you basically need to just not nat one.
I swear to God.
He says.
In before nat one.
He says right now.
Oh, thank God.
Nice. So you make it to about here, and you find a sort of placemat style thing. It's almost rubbery, as though you would place something on here so that it stays still on the table, and which is this green thing, and then a scrap of paper over here, which doesn't seem to have any writing on it.
Wait for me. Can I very quickly pick up any like any shard or like splinters of wood that I can use as torches? Just
Yeah, sure. I mean, out of cutting through this hole, you've got like at least 10 torches.
cool. So I can add 10 to my
Yeah,
thing.
add 10 to your thing.
Great, thank you. And can I jump over to join Vice?
Yeah, give me a dex save.
You fall and die.
Well, I don't have the egg, so it's not getting cracked.
Yeah, the egg's still important.
Yeah,
I use
I mean,
my reaction to try and help her.
yeah, sure. Give me a acrobatics or athletics check.
Oh fuck mine.
Not great. So Aresia, you spend a good solid amount of time, like half on, half off, as Vice is slowly pulling you up with his severe lack of strength. No damage suffered or anything like that, but like it takes. Oh, come on, you've got an 8 in strength. And you, like you're a couple points away from not being able to lift like a cup. It takes the duration of the rest of the group searching this room to just get on top of the desk along with Vice.
Oh. I'm sorry, I had assumed you're a bit stronger than that.
I mean, the most I lift, Lieutenant, is my my loot. I'd like to say.
Listen, be careful where you go with this, okay? I work out a lot. I am not that heavy. It's the chainmail. It's the chainmail.
I mean, sure. I mean, it's not you that's heavy.
Also,
but
there's an element of you trying to hold on to Vice and like occasionally catching his armor, and it's just constantly oozing this slime that makes everything slippery.
What is this?
Lieutenant, by now you should know what this is.
Oh,
Pure disgust.
I no longer feel safe around you. What's on that bit of paper?
We haven't got time.
I just want to get
You go over to the bit of paper, and it has the biggest letter T that you've ever seen. But that's about all that's on this like corner of a page that was being written on. They've written something quite big there is a T that seemed to be the end of a word, perhaps, because you can tell that like it's a scrap of paper
Shit.
where the corner's been written off. They seem to have written on it quite large. Like they've used much more of like an A4 size piece of paper than they needed, and then they've ripped it and left this corner here for some reason. And that is where we will end this session.
I can't even.
We've made good progress. We're about roughly where I was hoping to be.
Oh my
This was great. We should have done Tiny Fight earlier.
No, Tiny Fight is terrifying. I'm hating.
Oh,
The mayor has never been more on the edge of death.
oh god, that's funny.
Cool.
Extreme.
Yeah. Cheers for watching, everybody.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank
Join
you.
us next week to
Bye.
see
Until
what
next time.
what tiny creature will eat the group next week. Goodbye, stream.
Bye.
Oh,